Morning. See. So in today's session, we will finish off architecture and we'll move to this next slide that is on sculpture. And after sculpture, we'll move to painting. Okay. So in the coming week, we'll be able to finish the entire subject. Did you carry your maps and within Singania? Okay. So you people forgot. Good. Okay. So tell me, any questions from yesterday's class? So Islamic architecture, colonial architecture, 4 styles we have talked about. Any questions from yesterday's class? None? Okay, good. Now, we're going to discuss about Delhi architecture is one topic. Okay, Chandigarh architecture is the second topic. And the third one is this Laurie Baker is the third person that we're going to talk about. And fourth is this Nek Chand. Okay, 4 people are there. And it pretty much winds up architecture. Sanjay, can you turn on that AC? Yes. Okay. So that pretty much sums up everything in architecture. Okay. So first we'll have a look at the Delhi architectural style. Okay, Delhi architectural style. In fact, it is during the British colonial period itself. Okay, so the British government or the British Indian government, it wanted to build a city, okay, for hosting the viceroy, okay, and the various administrative offices and blocks. They wanted to build a very proper city, okay, and what they did is they wanted to establish a new city very nearby to the old Delhi. Okay, old Delhi, they wanted to establish a new city, and this place, okay, what they wanted to do is they want it to be the hub of all the administrative offices along with the residences of the colonial offices. So for that, they selected a new place which is very close by to Delhi, and they named it as New Delhi. And what they did is they invited 2 people. Okay, one is this person called Lutins, okay, and the other one is this person called Edward Baker. So both of them were invited to India, and what they did is after coming to India, they started planning for the construction of a new city. And while constructing this new city, they wanted this city to become the center for the admixture of British culture and Indian culture. Okay, because their opinion was what initially they started trying to impose the British culture on India in classical Greek style, Gothic style, in other styles. They did not adopt anything Indian there. But here, by the later stages of colonialism, they started feeling that the government of India, it should be an admixture between the Indian traditions and the British traditions. That is when they wanted to create a new form of architecture to reflect the syncretism between British and India. And so just like the Indo-Islamic architecture, remember during Mughal period, so where some Hindu elements were adopted to Islam, similarly the Britishers also started feeling like we should integrate the European style with Indian style. With this intention, they formulated a new school which is known as the Indo-Roman school, or it is also sometimes known as Indo-Saracenic school too. Indo-Roman or Indo-Saracenic school they started, and under this school they constructed some important buildings. And the important buildings that they constructed in India are, one is the President's Palace today, Rashtrapati Bhavan it is called. It was originally known as Viceroy's Residence. And across the Viceroy's Residence, what they did is they constructed 2 buildings. One is the North Block and the other one is South Block. And this is the Central Secretariat. Very huge buildings. I'll show the images also. So these 2 images things also they constructed. And the third thing that they wanted to do is they wanted to build a assembly or central legislative assembly they wanted to build. And it became the Parliament of India later. So these 3 buildings, and along with these 3 buildings, they also constructed the residences of colonial masters, and the entire city was planned in a very organized and scientific format, with cross-cutting lanes, very clear and broad roads they have built. And along with that, they also did what is they gave a lot of emphasis to environment and parks, and the New Delhi entire stretch is completely having a lot of greenery. Many green spaces are there, wherein they left the spaces deliberately for the sake of construction of parks and other things. Because by then only environmentalism slowly started becoming important. So that's the reason why they constructed these things. And in order to construct the Rashtrapati Bhavan and the North Block and South Block, they selected a hill which is known as Raisina Hill. Indian Parliament is also located in the same place. If you go there, you can visit them. Rashtrapati Bhavan is center. Central Secretariat is divided into 2 blocks. One is North Block, the other is South Block. And just beside it, we have the Indian Parliament House. all of them are present at the same place. So this is what they have done. And along with that, in order to adopt some Indian traditions, first is the base structure of all the buildings is Greek. Okay, classical Greek, you remember? So base structure is for all the buildings is Greek. It means that it has pillars. Okay, it has this colonnade structure. Indian Parliament also has the colonnade structure, circular colonnade structure it has. Okay, then even the Rashtrapati Bhavan also similarly. Okay, it has the base structure is Greece or okay the classical Greek tradition they used. But okay, they adopted some elements from Islam and Hindu architecture. And from Islam, what they selected is this opus sectile style, you remember? Okay, colored marbles they used. And Rashtrapati Bhavan also has some yellow sandstone, red sandstone. Okay, I'll show the image too. And Indian Parliament building also has this sandstone structure, okay, which has multiple colors. Red sandstone is used. Okay, if you see the image, then you'll identify it. So red sandstone tradition they adopted from this Islamic architecture. Okay, Islamic architecture, so they adopted this sandstone structure first. And the second thing is, if you see the Rashtrapati Bhavan, it has a dome on top of it. Okay, but the dome, it is constructed in the form of Buddhist stupa. Okay, Buddhist stupa, you remember? Okay, it has this kind of shape. It's not bulbous. Okay, it is having a shape which is semicircular in format. So the Buddhist stupa is adopted on top of Rashtrapati Bhavan. Then along with that, okay, what he did is he used many traditional Indian symbols like elephants. Okay, so the entire north block and south block, they are residing on pillars which have these elephant capitals as heads. Capital means pillar top is known as capital. On capital, they place the elephant heads. That is a symbolism of Indian architecture. Yes, and he also used multiple animal images also, okay, in order to represent the various pillars, capitals and stuff. So this is an admixture of the European and Indian styles. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So just have a look at the Delhi architecture. Delhi architectural style. Okay, so this is the famous north block. Okay, this is the Parliament building. Okay, on top of Parliament building, there is again one more stupa. Is it not like a stupa format? Okay, and the Parliament building, its structure is adopted from this temple, which is known as Chausat Yogini temple, which is present at Mauryan. Okay, Mauryan is a place in Madhya Pradesh. There is a temple called Chausat Yogini, 64 Yogini temple. I think in Khajuraho also we talked about the Chausat Yogini temple. Here in Morina also there is a Chausat Yogini temple in Madhya Pradesh, and the model of this Parliament building, it is adopted from the Chausat Yogini temple. So that is a Hindu influence. See the usage of red sandstone, yellow sandstone, that is Islamic influence. Okay, then there is high emphasis on symmetry. Stupa is there on top. Okay, then along with that you can see some chetris also. These are pavilions on top of the stupa. That is Islamic architectural tradition. Yes or no? Pavilion, kiosk, chetri, cupola, all of these things mean the same thing, right? So this is the Parliament building, and this is the north block. Okay, this is the north block. See here this is classical Greek dome. Yes or no? Here also they used sandstone. Okay, red and yellow sandstone. Okay, so the structure is Greek. Okay, but some influences are there from Indian tradition. So chetris are there. Okay, sandstone usage is there. So these kind of things are influences from India. Okay, and think Rashtrapati Bhavan, did I not include the image of Rashtrapati Bhavan? This is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, this is the Rashtrapati Bhavan. That is north block. Okay, one building is north block, one is Rashtrapati Bhavan, the other is Parliament. Okay, this is very important. Okay, because you know, okay, Central Vista project is going on. So there is a good possibility of a question. Last year also, that is the reason why they asked the question on Indian Parliament building. Okay, prelims or mains, any which way, they can ask a question on this. Okay, now, just to see the intermixture between Indian traditions and European traditions here. Delhi architecture, the chief architect is Sir Edwin Lutyens and his colleague Sir Edward Baker. Okay, Edward Baker is his name. Not Herbert, but Edward. Remember the name. Edward Baker, Sir Edwin Lutyens is one more. British architects set themselves to study the Buddhist, Hindu and Islamic features while redrawing their plan for Delhi. Okay, most of the buildings have this majestic appearance. Okay, the Viceregal Palace, which became later day Rashtrapati Bhavan, appeared with a huge dome on the lines of Buddhist stupa. Yes, okay, the stupa format is there. Then along with that, and most of the buildings, you write it there itself, even the Parliament has a stupa on top. Even the Parliament building has a stupa on top. Stupa on top. Okay, and most of the buildings, they have Hindu ornamentation. And Islamic emphasis is there on symmetry. Remember Taj Mahal building? Symmetry is a lot important for Islamic constructions. Remember, one side mosque and the other side, just to compensate for it, they built one more structure, okay, because of which symmetry is very important in Islam. So they brought the same element here, okay, and most of the structures appeared massive, heavy, and strong. Okay, so this is again the masculine ideas of what beautiful is, right? Okay, so apart from this is different from Taj Mahal's idea of what beauty means. Now, okay, so chhatris they used, then also used the stone lattice screens. This is also Rajasthan se Mughal, sorry, Rajasthan se Delhi Sultanate. From there again, it has come back again. Gujarat architectural style, stone lattice screens. Okay, carved images of elephants and the colossal Buddhist dome. Okay, all of these are influences. And this order is known as a Delhi order, neoclassical columns. Okay, neoclassical columns he has created. Okay, and that's the reason why it is known as a Indo-Greek style. You write this down. Okay, it is known as Indo-Greek. It is a hybrid style of Indian and neoclassical, and is known as Indo-classical or Indo-Greek style. The best examples are Rashtrapati Bhavan, Parliament House, Secretariat, North and South Block. Okay, Connaught Place, a very, very famous market center in Delhi. The market center. It has these pillared porticos. Okay, pillared porticos are very useful for establishing markets, right? Because people can walk in shade and then they can shop. You're understanding? Okay. Okay, if the pillared portico is there for the building, so this building is also a long stretch of a building, and the entire structure has a pillared portico in front, because of which people can walk in the interior and then they can shop. Are you getting this? So that is the style here which is followed in Connaught Place, and the entire structure is placed in gardens. Okay, entire structure is placed in gardens. Okay, Parliament is inspired by the Chosat Yogini temple at Mauryan. Okay, Baker, he built the twin secretariat building, combined European style columns and Renaissance like dome with Indian architectural elements like the use of red sandstone, jali, chajja, chetri, carved brackets as well as elephant heads on pillar capitals. Okay, will you be able to write an answer based on this? Okay, I think it's easy. Okay, some 5-6 points you can easily bring out from this. Okay, so you understood this thing. The plan of Lutyens Delhi is purely geometrical. This is very important. Okay, so it looks this way. So there are tree-lined streets which are radiating from the central vista and converge in hexagonal nodes. Okay, so central vista is the place where Rashtrapati Bhavan is present. Okay, from here, various roads they radiate outside. Okay, they radiate outside, and after radiating outside, all of them are joined together in the form of a hexagon. Hexagon means how many sides will be there? Okay, I think it is 6. Some people are feeling that it is 7. 7 is septagon. Okay, 6 is hexagon. Okay, it means that 6 roads radiates from this region, and all of them are joined together again. And most of the buildings for the colonial administrators, they are present on one of these 6 lanes. Very, very good place, sir. Okay, if you go there, don't miss your opportunity. Even UPSC house is present in the Central Vista project only. Okay, here only it is present. Okay, Dholpur house it is known as. So most of the princely states, they had their own buildings. Most of the administrators, they had their own buildings. Okay, one of the best places to be in. Okay, very nice. Okay, very clean, geometric, broad roads. Okay, you'll feel that sense of majesty when you walk there. Okay, so it's very good. Okay, you can go there sometime. Okay, whenever time permits. Anyhow, clearing UPSC is impossible without going to Delhi, right? Okay, so you will go someday or the other. Okay, if you're preparing seriously for the examination, you will go. Now, tree-lined streets radiate from the central vista and converge into an hexagonal node. Okay, you can draw a proper diagram based on this. I think you can draw, right? Okay, so central vista is, you put it in a round way. 6 roads you extend. Okay, my drawing is poor. Okay, but you can do it, I think. Okay, then join all of them in a hexagonal structure. Okay, his plan is also remarkable in the sense that there are generous green spaces, lawns, water courses, trees, and their integration with the parks developed around the monuments. Okay, and the roads also are 30 degrees to each other. Naturally, hexagon means, okay, 30 or 60 degrees will be the angle between each road. So in between also, okay, that a triangular space is there, forming triangles and hexagons in between. So that is what is the structure here. Okay, so see the images. So that is the case of Delhi architecture. Are you understanding this? So classical Greeks has some traditions, Buddhists has some traditions, Islamic architecture has some traditions. All of them are fused together and created a new order called Indo-classical or Indo-Greek order. It was done by two people, okay, Baker and Lutins. Okay, Baker is responsible for the North Block and South Block. See, in fact, I'll tell you one story. Suppose, okay, if you see from below the Raisina Hill is the place where all these structures are present. Okay, you will not be able to identify the Rashtrapati Bhavan because there is a fight between, okay, Lutins and Baker. Okay, Baker was given the charge of constructing, I think North Block and South Block is Baker. Lutins is given the charge of constructing Rashtrapati Bhavan. But there is so much of conflict between them. What this person has done is, okay, Baker has constructed the North Block and South Block very tall, so that the Rashtrapati Bhavan will get overshadowed. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, and that is the reason why what happens is, if you see from below, the North Block and South Block, they look bigger than Rashtrapati Bhavan. Rashtrapati Bhavan, till the time you go very near to it, it is not even visible. Okay, that is how people fight. Okay. Through their art also they fight. Okay, so that is the case, but fine, not very important. Okay, now next one is post-independence May. There are some architects who are little prominent for us. One is Laurie Baker. Okay, Laurie Baker, he is so Edward Baker is different, Laurie Baker is different. So this Laurie Baker, okay, what he did is he came and settled down in India. And after settling down in India, he was very much influenced by the Gandhian ideas of inclusion and sustainability. And he wanted to construct his buildings with the least possible impact on environment. And most of his constructions are known as green buildings. Okay, because green buildings today is a very important topic. So these green buildings, they started with this person by the name of Laurie Baker. What he did is he started using the locally available material for construction rather than using stone, brick and other things. What he did is he mainly constructed most of his buildings based out of locally available materials. Whatever is available, let's suppose wood is available, coconut trees are available. So he converted the coconut trees into pillars for the building. So this way he used the locally available material mainly in order to construct the buildings. Along with that, okay, he constructed his buildings with enough light and enough light so that natural light will dominate artificial light. So there is no need for artificial light in his buildings. Natural light dominate buildings, and their carbon emissions also are very minimal. And these buildings are constructed in the ideas of sustainability, and the construction cost also was deliberately kept very minimal. Because of which, okay, he was employed by the Kerala government in order to construct low-cost housing for the poor people of Kerala. So this is his most prominent contribution, is this low-cost housing in Kerala. And he is a follower of the Gandhian idea of sustainability. Okay, so this is his scene. Just see this. Okay, cost-effective, energy-efficient architecture and design that maximizes space, ventilation and light, and maintain an uncluttered yet striking aesthetic sensibility. Okay, they are also beautiful too. Okay, even though low cost means, okay, they are not. Okay, so sometimes when we are doing cost cutting, we don't emphasize on beauty, right? But this person, he has integrated them both. Okay, so both beautiful and low cost buildings. Okay, and right. Okay, so he pioneered the idea of green buildings. He was a pioneer in green buildings. He was a pioneer in green buildings, low cost housing, and tried to reduce the carbon footprint of his houses. Tried to reduce the carbon footprint of his buildings. Carbon footprint, you understand, right? Okay, how many emissions are you contributing to directly or indirectly? That is what is known as carbon footprint. This is all right. So this is the case of this person called Laurie Baker. Okay, and he is influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and his own experiences in the remote Himalayas. He promoted the revival of regional building practices and use of local materials, and combined this with design philosophy that emphasized a responsible and prudent use of resources and energy. Prudent means wise. Yes. Then he was pioneer of sustainable architecture as well as organic architecture, incorporating in his designs even the late 1960s concepts such as rainwater harvesting. I forgot about rainwater harvesting. Minimizing usage of energy. Okay, minimizing damage to the building site and seamlessly merging it with the surroundings. Green and sustainable buildings, the conscience keeper of Indian architecture is his title. His title is conscience keeper of Indian architecture. Okay, this is one of the buildings that he has constructed. You can't see it, okay, because it is so integrated into the nature surrounding it. Okay, so is the image given there? Okay, coconut palm trees, it is integrated. Okay, sloping sides and stuff. You write the example. Low cost housing in Kerala. His main building is this low cost housing structures in Kerala. Okay, so the next city that we are going to talk about is Chandigarh. And here, the main chief architect is a French architect by the name of Le Corbusier. Okay, Le Corbusier is chief architect. Listen to what I try to say. Okay, then after that you can plan. Okay, on writing. So Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, India became independent, and as his emblem for this independent India, he wanted to construct a new city, and he chose this city Chandigarh as a newly laid out city, which is the combined capital of Punjab and initially it was the capital of Punjab region. So Nehru wanted to construct this modern city which is in tune with Indian values and ideas. Okay, but at the same time, he wanted the city to be as modern as possible. And at the same time, he wanted the city also to have a lot of green spaces. So all these ideas he talked to Le Corbusier. And he was brought to India. And Le Corbusier, he designed a new city which is known as Chandigarh. Chandigarh as a city is not present during colonial period. In fact, it is a completely new city which has been laid down by this person called Le Corbusier. And here also, the same idea. Okay, mainly the roads are very well planned. They are very broad roads. There are a lot of green spaces. But while constructing, this person had very, very unique ideas about construction. And because of which he was given full freedom by Jawaharlal Nehru. And this person, what he did is, he had his own ideas of beauty and he wanted to implement these things in Chandigarh. And what he did is, he started constructing buildings. And most of his buildings, what he did is, so he, after constructing the base structure of the building, his main idea is to play with light and shade. Okay, wherever he constructed any building, see, he started using the light in order to give an impression of light and shade. Okay, light and shade means, the pillars will be so constructed that with the changing sunlight direction, the shade, it will also change direction. And playing with light and shade is something which is very important for him. Then along with that, most of his buildings, they are constructed very close by to small tanks, so that the reflection of the building exactly falls on the water tank. Are you getting this? So this is the second idea. Third idea is, after structuring his constructions, what he used to do is on the exterior of the structure, he never permitted the Indian masons to finish or polish the external structure. He used to pour concrete onto the side walls, and after pouring concrete, he left it to dry on itself. He never polished the concrete, because this is one style of his. So whatever way it solidifies, let it solidify the same way. He did not permit the finishing of the buildings. So that is the reason why these buildings, all of them have a concrete kind of structure. Concrete kind of structure is the third thing. And fourth thing is, his idea of architecture is based on this concept which is known as promenade. This promenade concept is something wherein, see, let's suppose if a person is there, if a person enters into a region, or a street, slowly in the initial stages, nothing will be visible for him. As he explores goes into the interior and starts exploring the landscape, then he will understand that there are varied structures which are present here and there. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So this is known as promenade architectural style, wherein the buildings are hidden from plain eyesight initially, but as a person goes into the interior, more and more buildings will open up for him. This architectural style is known as promenade architectural style. This is something which he was the one who developed it. Then along with that, Le Corbusier had this idea of open hand. Open hand is a very famous symbol which Le Corbusier liked, and this open hand is an emblem for giving and taking. It means that I am open to either give or to take. So that is what is open hand symbolism. And across Chandigarh city, you find many of these open hand symbols. And he also constructed the Legislative Assembly of Chandigarh along with High Court of Chandigarh, all of them in the most modern traditions. So these are some of the buildings of his. So just have a look at that. Local landscape and sunlight and shadows into the design. First, you highlight the things that I am talking about, incorporating the local landscape and sunlight and shade into the design. And his favorite symbol is this open hand. His design called for the use of raw concrete, whose surface is not smooth or polished, which showed the marks of forms in which it had dried. His promenade architectural style, the observer's pathway through the built space is central element of Le Corbusier's architectural and city planning designs. It is a sequence of images that unfolds before the eyes of the observer as he or she gradually advances through the structure. Are you getting it? By looking from outside, you'll think that it is not beautiful or it is not even present. But as a person goes inside, more and more structures will open up for him. That is what is known as promenade. So they can ask a bit on, with respect to architectural traditions of India, what is the meaning of promenade structure? So these kind of questions can be asked. Then It is the creation of hierarchy among the architectural events, a set of instructions for reading the work. Okay, so leave it. Okay, it's not very important. It comprises 3 buildings, 3 monuments, and a lake, including the Palace Assembly or Legislative Assembly, Secretariat, and High Court, along with open hand monument. And he also constructed some things like Geometric Hill and Tower of Shadows in Chandigarh. So this is the Legislative Assembly. Okay, are you understanding how he played with light and shade? Okay, here also you can see how he has played with light and shade. Okay, then along with that, okay, lake is present in front so that the entire building will get reflected in the water too. Okay, this is one more, and most of the structures are having concrete structure. Yes, okay, sun-dried concrete, no finishing, okay, no paints. So this is his style. Okay, this is his idea of beauty. But if Indians are shown this image, then they will not definitely consider this to be beautiful, right? Okay, but it is a city, okay, which is according to the taste of Jawaharlal Nehru, okay, not according to the taste of Indian public. Now, this is the High Court. Okay, this is the High Court of Chandigarh. Is it looking as High Court in any fashion? Okay, but this is his High Court. Minimal usage of High Court and the Central Legislative Assembly. These are the 2 structures that he has constructed. Le Corbusier. Recently, there was some news about Le Corbusier. Okay, I think his constructions, which are done across South Africa and other regions, all of them are included together as some architectural heritage site. Okay, so that is the reason why they became a little prominent 1 year or 2 years ago. Okay, so that's the case of Le Corbusier. Just remember, open hand. Okay, they're not going to ask a mains question on Le Corbusier. Just the city of Chandigarh, its awareness, you should know about it. Okay, so rather than going further in depth than this is not required. Okay, next one, the last one is this Nekchand. Okay, Nekchand is he built a garden which is known as Rock Garden in Chandigarh. Okay, and here this garden, it was okay. Initially there was a forest. Okay, I'll tell you. This Nekchand is a government employee, and naturally government employees have a lot of free time. So this person also had a lot of free time. So what he used to do is he used to go into the forest which is very nearby to Chandigarh. There, what he used to do is every day, okay, without the knowledge of any third person, he used to carry some, okay, industrial waste, some, okay, urban waste to this region. And after going inside the forest, what he did is he started constructing, okay, a park, okay, with the help of this refuse and waste material. And this is known as Nekchand Parks. And after nearly some 10-year or 15-year work of this person, this park was finally found out by the government. Okay, rather than punishing him, what they did is they converted it into Nekchand's, okay, garden. Okay, Nekchand's garden. So what happened is this rock garden is, okay, mainly built with the waste, refuse and waste. That is the only thing here. Okay, Rock Garden of Chandigarh is a sculpture garden in Chandigarh, India. It is also known as Nekchand's Rock Garden after its founder Nekchand Saini. Okay, today it is spread over an area of 40 acres. It is completely built of industrial and home waste and thrown away items. Okay, and it is near this lake called Sukna Lake. Okay, Sukna Lake, and the other things are common. Okay, so this finishes the architectural style. So we started from where? Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, from there to here, that is Nekchand's garden. Okay, we are done. Okay, so but these are not mains questions. Don't try to go further in depth. Okay, only Delhi architectural style can be asked as a mains question. Rest of the things are just prelims bits. Okay, so there you write near Delhi architecture, you write M. M means it is important for mains. Rest of the things are not so important. Okay, so this finishes the discussion on the architectural style. Now the next one is sculpture. Okay, sculpture. Sculptural style. Here also we'll start from Indus Valley Civilization and go till modern sculpture. Okay, modern sculpture, only one person. Okay, Ramkinka Baiji is one person that we will talk about. Okay, rest of the things are same. Okay, so don't exert yourself too much on okay, so the later day things, wherever I tell the things are important are, okay, there you put a star mark. Okay, those things only you try to remember. See, when it comes to sculpture, okay, when it comes to sculpture, so the sculptural tradition in India, it mainly started from Indus Valley Civilization period. Even before that, also during Neolithic period, there were some crude images which were made, but not very prominent for us. Only from Indus Valley Civilization, the sculpture which is present is important for us. And when it comes to Indus Valley Civilization sculpture, okay, listen to me. In Indus Valley Civilization, you know that, okay, there are both 3D images and relief sculpture. Relief sculpture is something which is present on a, okay, solid object. Okay, either it can be a small tablet, it can be a wall. Okay, in relief sculpture, usually there will be carvings on the slab or on the wall. Carving. Okay, painting is done on the surface, whereas carving is done into the interior of the surface. Yes, and when this is known as relief sculpture. Relief sculpture means the sculpture which is carved onto a wall or slab is known as relief sculpture. And in relief sculpture, there are two kinds of relief sculpture. One relief sculpture is the relief sculpture which is having a depth of 1 to 3 centimeters. This is known as low relief sculpture. Okay, listen to me. It's all there. Okay, low relief sculpture is the sculpture which has 1 to 3 centimeter depth. Then, if the sculptural depth is more than 3 centimeters, then it is known as high relief sculpture. Usually, if it becomes more than 3 centimeters, automatically the shapes will come out properly from the background. Okay, if it is less than 3 centimeters, usually they will look like as if they are clinging to the wall or tablet. So these are known as two types of relief sculpture. And 3D sculpture are the images which are carved out of a complete stone, or sometimes they are also made out of stucco. Stucco means what? Stucco is like lime. Okay, stucco made images are like pots. Okay, they are carved with hand with a wet material. Okay, wet material is placed at one place and then they are hand carved. Then it is known as stucco. They are either made with stucco or they are made with stone. Okay, or other materials also they will be made with. So these kind of images are there. And when it comes to Indus Valley civilization, some of the images we already know. Can you give an example of a relief sculpture in Indus Valley civilization? Is there any relief sculpture? So seals and ceilings are relief sculpture. You remember seals and ceilings? So these seals are so the symbols of authentication. Wherein what they used to do is they used to have clay tablets, copper tablets, and other kinds of tablets which are small structures. Not structure. What do you call it? Plates. Small plates will be there, and on this usually there are images which are carved up. These are known as seals, and these seals they are used for the sake of authentication, like modern seals. Modern seals, you know how they work. So modern seal is a symbol for authentication. Yes, similarly these seals are also symbols for authentication, because there is no paper and ink at that point of time. What they used to do is they used to put clay at let's suppose they have some goods. They used to tie the goods with a cloth, and after tying it with a cloth, at the knot place, at the place where they have put knot, they used to put wet clay, and on top of it they used to impress the seal, so as to prove that these goods are authentic. And if the seal is broken, then naturally you should consider that the goods are unauthentic. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So this is known as seal and sealing tradition, and there also they are using the bas relief sculpture, and in many places in Indus Valley civilization there are n number of seals and ceilings. And in seals and ceilings, the main images which are depicted are images of animals and plants. Animals and plants, because the Indus Valley civilization people, they had consideration that animals and plants are sacred for them. And these are sometimes also the symbols of totems of a given family. Totem means the sacred symbol for a family. So each family or each trading group, it used to have its own seal. And this seal, it contains the images of totem. And in totem, sometimes animals and sometimes plants are depicted. And along with animals and plants, sometimes they also depicted some fantastic animals also on seals and ceilings. You remember? Which are a mixture of 2-3 animals. All of them are put together and placed on the seal and seal. That is the third method of seals and ceilings. And fourth thing is, sometimes they also depicted the image of a person who is sitting in cross-legged posture. You remember Pashupati? So Pashupati is also one more image which is depicted. So all of these are bas relief sculptures of Indus Valley civilization. And every seal on bottom there used to be the image of the bas relief sculpture. On top there is usually script, and the script is written usually from right to left, reverse. And you remember this type of Indus Valley script? It is known as Bastophadan script, Sarpalekana. So this is how they started from right, and they used to move towards left on seals and ceilings. This is the first one. And second thing is, when it comes to Indus Valley civilization, in Indus Valley civilization, they also had a very good 3D image tradition too. And in this 3D image tradition, there are two things. One is the stone and copper made objects. Copper or bronze made objects. And the second one is clay made objects. Both of them are in the form of 3D images. When it comes to the copper or bronze tradition, here they mainly made their images with this technique which is known as lost wax technique. Did I talk about this before? Yes? Let's discuss. I don't remember discussing it with you guys. Lost wax technique, wherein what they used to do is, first and foremost, they used to make a candle image. Let's suppose they want to make the image of a deity or god. What they will do is wax, it helps in carving very easily. Yes or no? Wax helps itself to carve very easily. Okay, because with very small instruments also you can carve it. Even fine carving can also be done. So first what they will do is they will make the image in wax. And after making the image in wax, immediately, okay, they will put some wet clay on the image. Once the wet clay is put, okay, they will put it outside in sun. Naturally, the clay will get, okay, solidified. And after solidifying the clay, what they do is, okay, they will take the clay, okay, the clay image they will take, and after that they will start burning the clay image. Once the clay image is burnt, the wax will get diluted and it will pour out of the image. Yes, but inside there will be a mold of, okay, whatever image you want to make. After that, what they do is they boil metal, and the boiled metal is poured into this clay mold. Are you understanding this? Then the initial wax images, okay, exact replica will be made with metal. This technique is known as a lost wax technique, because wax is being burnt and it is left out. So it is known as a lost wax technique. Are you getting this? Are you understanding this? Okay, this has one more name too, which is known as Sire Pedru. Sire Pedru or lost wax technique is used by the Indus Valley civilization people in order to create metal images. Are you following this? So metal images, and of these metal images, the most prominent one is this dancing girl image. Okay, don't consider it to be very large. Okay, in fact, I was a direct witness to it. Once I went to this National Museum in Delhi, I was expecting the dancing girl, because it was so prominent image, to be very large. Okay, but it is the size of your finger. Okay, very small. Okay, don't expect to be large. It is just 13 centimeter or 15 centimeters large. Okay, and this dancing girl, okay, she is standing in a very unique position, which is known as Tribanga position. Tribanga position is a very important position in Indian dance. Okay, where, okay, the body will be bent at three places. One is at the head, one is at the chest level, and the third is at the hip level. So three levels. If the body is bent in three different directions, then it is known as Tribanga pose. And the dancing girl image is made in this Tribanga pose. Then along with that, okay, she also is wearing a headband. Okay, these kind of finer details are very important. And along with wearing a headband, okay, she is also having, okay, bangles in one of her arm. Okay, only one arm has bangles. Okay, and that too, she's placing it on her hip. Okay, can you see the image of the dancing girl? Okay, she's body is bent at three places. Are you able to perceive it? It's a little difficult. Okay, so it's a little difficult to perceive, but she is wearing bangles in one hand and putting it on her hip. In the other arm, okay, she is wearing one amulet. Amulet means, what is the meaning of amulet? Okay, amulet is something which tries to, okay, ward off evil forces. Okay, most of you have amulets around your arms, right? Okay, Bhagwan ka raksha. Okay, so that is what is known as amulet. One arm amulet, one arm bangles. Is she wearing a headband? No, yes. Huh? Yes. Okay, she is wearing a headband. I think so. She is wearing a headband. Okay, just have a look at it. Okay, and her hair is also, okay, is in the format of a bun. Okay, bund hair, it is known as. Okay, bund hair format. Okay, they carved the image in that format. So this is the famous image of dancing girl. And along with that, okay, there were many copper images also which were made, particularly bull image. Okay, bull image. Then there is a famous bull image. You write copper bronze made. There is a bull image which is made. Bull image of a bull is also made. So this is a copper bronze tradition. Are you getting this? Then when it comes to the carved tradition, there is one very famous image of a carved person, okay, who is known as the priest king of Indus Valley civilization. So you might have seen his image multiple number of times. Here also, okay, the people are very stylish. Okay, all of them wear headbands. Okay, and along with headbands, this is a person who is having a bald head. Okay, bald head or some hair is there. Hair is there. Okay, so hair is there. Okay, then along with that headband, and his eyes are present in half closed style. Okay, half closed eye format, which denotes that he is meditating. Okay, half closed eye format. Okay, he might be sleeping too, but we don't know. Okay. Okay, half closed eyes. Then along with that, okay, one more dress he is wearing, and the dress has floral patterns on it. Okay, floral patterns on dress. Okay, and this is known as a trefoilate style. Trefoilate style, and he is also having a beard. Okay, having a beard, and this person's image is known as priest king image, and it is made in stone. Then the third kind of images are the stucco images. You know stucco? I told you. Okay, lime, which looks similar to lime, and it lends itself to carving very easily. And based on this stucco images, there is one image which is made there, which is showing this half torso of a man. Okay, half torso. Okay, so only the top part of the body. The rest of the parts, they are lost. Okay, we don't have them. So this stucco made image which shows very fine carving tradition. Okay, human body is carved very well. So that is stucco image. That is the third one. Then along with that, in clay tradition during Indus Valley civilization period, there were n number of images which were made on the basis of this woman who is known as Mother Goddess. Because fertility is a very important idea for Indus Valley civilization people. Okay, fertility, both lands fertility and fertility in family, because children are an important asset. Okay, because of the high child mortality, because of population decline, fertility is a important value for most of the ancient and medieval civilizations, because science did not develop at that point of time. So what they used to do is, if there are some diseases and if there are lack of children, if the crops die also, all of them they used to believe that it is the handiwork of God. So for each work they used to carve one different kind of Mother Goddess. And Mother Goddess images are present in plenty across the Indus Valley civilization. And this Mother Goddess images, they are made in a very crude format with clay. Okay, naturally it means that if they are crude, naturally you should understand that they are gods of poor people. Okay, if a rich person is there, then he would have made his images in metal. But these people, they made it in clay. And the format in which they were made also are very, very crude. So naturally it means what? Mother Goddess is mainly the chief deity of the poor people. And this Mother Goddess images, they are present in multiple formats, sitting, standing. Sometimes the Mother Goddess is shown as a pregnant woman. Okay, so that is also one more thing that they have done. And usually the Mother Goddess has two extensions on the shoulder, on both sides. And these lend themselves for lighting diyas or lamps on the shoulder. Are you getting this? So isn't our worship system similar to this one? Little. Okay, we also have Mother Goddesses. Every village has its own Gram Devata. So that Mother Goddess tradition, it originated in Indus Valley civilization. Then along with that, this diya burning is also something which is known from Indus Valley civilization. And there are also places where incense candles were also used. What is the meaning of incense candle? Agarbatti. Okay, agarbatti is incense candle. So incense candle also, there are places where incense candle is also used. It means that most of the later day worship traditions, they are evolved from Indus Valley civilization. Okay, along with that, along with these Mother Goddess images, they also made the images of Linga. Okay, Linga is very similar to Shiva. Okay, Shiva's images they made. Okay, Linga images they made. So this is the clay tradition of Indus Valley civilization. Is this clear? Okay, what all they did? First is copper bronze tradition. Okay, copper bronze tradition. Then the second one is this bas relief tradition. The third one is 3D images in stone. Then 3D images with the help of stucco. Then along with that, clay images. And in the clay images itself, they made the image of a model bullock cart of Indus Valley civilization. Model plow image is also there. Okay, very small. Model plow, okay, for kids to play. But model, okay, this bullock cart is also made. And the bullock cart is made with solid wheels, because spoked wheels is the tradition of Aryans. These people had solid wheels, but not spoked wheels. Remember this? Okay, Aryans are the ones who brought this spoked wheel tradition into India. Okay, they ride it from Central Asia. They came on spoked wheel chariots and they destroyed the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, there is a story, right? So this spoked wheels is solid wheels is the technology that they knew about. Usually solid wheels are not as efficient as spoked wheels. Yes, because they are heavy. Yes or no? Okay, so this is the story of Indus Valley civilization sculpture. Let's just have a look at this image. Okay, Mother Goddess image. Very crude image, right? It is made in clay. Okay, headdress, headgear, okay, ornamentation, dressing pattern is also being shown. Okay, shoulder extensions are not there in this image. That is the image of the dancing girl. Okay, dancing girl, ornaments, amulets, okay, Tribhanga posture, all of these things are present. Okay, this is the image of this person, bearded man. Okay, half closed eyes, headband, okay, very sharp features. Yes, ear and other things, refluid design. And this is the torso of the Indus Valley man. Okay, and it is made in the format. Can you see the holes here? Okay, it is a detachable image, just like the image with which the kids play now. Okay, detachable means you can remove the hands, legs, and head. Okay, and so all those parts are lost. Okay, some psycho child. Okay, okay, I'm just joking. Okay, okay, so they threw away, and only the torso is left now. Okay, so this is the male torso. Okay, attachable hands, legs, all of these things are attachable. Okay, next one is this seals of Indus Valley civilization. Okay, see this. The first image is of a totem. Okay, that is unexplainable, right? It is very, very complicated totem image. And the second one is the image of a bull with a large mane. Okay, large maned bull. Okay, with huge horns. And this third image is the image of a unicorn. Single horn is there. Single horn means unicorn. Okay, then this is a very famous image which is known as the image of Gilgamesh. okay, wherein he is fighting with the two tigers, okay, just like most of South Indian movie actors, okay. So Gilgamesh, okay, two tigers fighting, okay, that person is known as Gilgamesh. There is one more bull image, okay, then one more elephant image is there. This is the Pashupati seal, okay, remember Pashupati seal, okay, the animals which are present are bird D, remember, okay, bull, elephant, rhinoceros, tiger and deer, okay, bird D. So this is the image of Pashupati sitting in a cross-legged position, horned deity, okay. So then so the same unicorn is depicted here too. You can see the image of unicorn. Then, okay, see, when it comes to this Indus Valley civilization sculpture, okay, so they mainly depicted most of their images in the form of realism. Realism means there is no over elaboration of the human form. Okay, over elaboration of human form is usually absent. Okay, however, the people they depicted them in the same fashion. Okay, it means that usually, okay, idealized format is always appreciated in sculpture. Okay, see, understand me. Okay, this is very important for later day also. Most of the early European sculpture, it is based on the ideal proportions for human body. Ideal proportions means, okay, person should have six-pack, okay, broad shoulders, okay, this kind of image is there, right? Okay, ideal body for a man and a woman, ideal body is, standardized. But here in Indus Valley civilization, people did not try to standardize a body form. What they tried to do is they tried to depict human beings as they are. Okay, that is the reason why the torso has a small tummy. Can you see? Okay, that is how most of Indian people are there. Okay, so they'll have a tummy. So this kind of image is deliberately made because they preferred realism over idealism. Are you getting this? Okay, see, I'll talk about this realism, idealism later too. Okay, but see, realism and mastery over form. Okay, 3D images and relief sculpture are there. Fantastic animals are depicted. Material used is stone, bronze, terracotta, steatite, and stucco. Steatite is also known as stucco. Okay, stucco. I think the composition is a little different, but carving method is same. Okay, carving method is same. Then priest, mother goddess, okay, images are there. Then Gilgamesh, Tribhanga style. Okay, Tribhanga style you write there. Beside it. Okay, it is a body pose. Body pose. This has been asked as a UPSC question in 2013. It is a body pose with thrice bent body. With thrice bent body, neck, chest, and hip tilting. Neck, chest, and hip tilting. Okay. Then the technique that they used is known as this lost wax technique, which is also known as Sre Pedru. Sre Pedru. Then, okay, they also made bronze images of buffalo, goat, and bull. Okay, bronze images of buffalo, goat, and bull. Okay, male torso of red sandstone. Yes, okay. Then totems of families are present. Script on tablet is also present. Okay, mother goddess are crude images. Fan-shaped headdress is there. Cups-like projections on each side and emblems of fertility are there. Then dancing girl, Tribhanga, bund hair, bangles in one arm, amulet in the other. Okay, I'm not sure of the headband. Okay, I have to see. Okay, because this is important. You open this, your phone and check the image of this dancing girl. Because headdress, if it is not there, okay, then don't write it. Okay, I think in art and culture book also there is a big image of the dancing girl. Is there a headband? No, right? So don't write headband. Okay, remove the section on headband. I was a little confused, okay, because this priest king image has headband. Okay, I'm not sure whether this lady has a headband or not. No? Okay, you enlarge the image and see. No headband? Okay, no headband. Okay, so you write one statement of clay images of solid wheeled bullock cart. Solid wheeled clay images of solid wheeled bullock cart and solid wheeled bullock cart and plow were excavated. Okay, it's very small images. Now, is this clear till now? Okay, so whatever is the ornament, sorry, the sculpture. See, when it comes to Indus Valley systems architecture is very plain and utilitarian. Whatever is needed, only that thing they have depicted. When it comes to, okay, the sculpture of Indus Valley civilization and ornamentation, they are showing a lot of imagination and maturity. Yes or no? Imagination they are showing or not? They're definitely showing a lot of imagination, right? Complex animals, okay, Gilgamesh, okay, all of these things, they show this, okay, artistic expressions. So in constructing the buildings, they showed utilitarianism, but in art, they showed a lot of dynamism and innovativeness. Are you getting this? So that is the case. Now, the next one is Mauryan age. Mauryan age, okay, just listen to me first. Similarly, okay, then after that, I'll show the slides. So when it comes to the Mauryan age, okay, see, Mauryan age mainly, if you remember in architecture itself, I told that, okay, the main remains from Mauryan age are, okay, so it means that post Indus Valley civilization, Vedic period, okay, then post Vedic period, then age of Mahajanapadas. From 3 periods, we did not have any evidence, because I told you that, okay, they mainly used sun-dried bricks along with wood for construction, and most of the structures, they got demolished, okay, over a period of time, okay, and their remains are not present. Only from Mauryan period, again, we find evidences of sculpture. And this sculpture has survived because it is made carved out of stone. So there is a stone tradition during Mauryan age, and it has survived till date. And in Mauryan sculpture, okay, mainly we have some independent images. Some pillars were there. Okay, these pillars are known as Ashoka Pillars. Ashoka Pillars is one thing that we need to study, and independent sculptures is the second thing that we need to study. In Mauryan period, you remember this palace which is present. What is the palace name? Which Megasthenes said that, okay, the palace is so huge, so beautiful. Kumarahar Palace near Patna. Pillared structure. Gone. Okay, so Kumarahar Palace, I have given like a big slide on the Kumarahar Palace. Okay, fine. So the Kumarahar Palace. Now, when it comes to sculpture in Mauryan age, first we will discuss about this Ashokan sculpture. Okay, Ashokan pillars we'll discuss, then after that we'll discuss about the independent sculpture. When it comes to the Ashokan pillars are solidly made out of stone. Okay, and this tradition of erecting pillars with message on them is started originally by the Achaemenid Empire, okay, which is present in Persia. Remember Darius, Alexander, he defeated Darius. So Darius usually used to erect these kind of pillars with capitals and a message on them. And this tradition was adopted by Ashoka Maurya. And after adapting, okay, what he did is, in this stone tradition, he started constructing pillars. And most of these pillars, they are, okay, tapering in shape. Okay, this is given as a solid one. Okay, but most of the pillars, they are tapering. Slight tapering is there from bottom to top. Tapering means they will become narrow as one goes on top. And after tapering, see, the Ashokan pillar has 3 capitals to it. The first capital is the inverted bell structure. Inverted lotus or inverted bell structure is used as the first lower capital. Then on top of this inverted lotus structure, usually they place a abacus. Okay, abacus means, okay, it is a, okay, this kind of structure. Okay, disc. Okay, you know Vishnu Chakra? Okay, there is a disc, right? Similarly, there is a abacus here. Okay, abacus. Abacus is, okay, this thin sheet which is present on top of the lotus bell. Then after over and above this abacus, there is a middle capital. And this middle capital usually contains the image of one or the other animal. Okay, are you getting this? One or the other animal image is present. So this is known as the middle capital. And on top of it, usually, okay, there are the images of chakra. Dharmachakra, you remember? You know Dharmachakra? The Dharmachakra is the emblem of Buddha's preaching. Okay, Buddha's preaching. So this is the typical shape of a Mauryan pillar with, okay, a tapering pillar, then lotus capital, lower capital, then abacus on top of it, middle capital is the animal, and upper capital is usually the Dharmachakra. So this is how most of the images of Ashoka are made. Okay, most of the images are made, and on top of this pillar, usually he used to give his inscriptions. You know the message of the inscription? Okay, Ahimsa, Saubhratatva, Samanvaya. Okay, then along with that, he also talked about shield, conduct. So these are the main things that he talked about. So he used to give his message or message. Okay, that was already discussed as part of Ashoka Maurya. Now we'll discuss about the pillars. And in these pillars, the middle capital images are very, very prominent for us. And most of the upper capital Dharmachakras, they are lost to us. We don't have them. Okay, in the middle capital, mainly nearly 7 different animal images, or 7 places we find the images of animals. And of these 7 places, 5 places the image is that of a lion. Of these 5 places too, 3 places have single lion, and only 2 places have this famous Indian emblem. There is a 4 lion capital is there, okay, which shows 4 lions who are sitting in a very, very majestic position. Yes or no? Okay, with huge manes to them. Mane means, okay, the beard of a lion is known as mane. So they have huge manes and they are roaring, okay, as if they are spreading or trying to say something. Yes or no? So these 4 lion capitals are present at 2 places. One is Sarnath and the second is Sanchi. Okay, and the Sarnath capital is the one which we selected as Indian emblem. Okay, so on top of that also there was originally a Dharmachakra. I'll show you the image too. Then apart from these 2 places, Sanchi and Sarnath, there are 4 lion capitals. Then along with these 4 lion capitals, there are 3 other single lion capital images. And these are present in, single lion capital is present in a place called Laurie, Nandangarh. Okay, and along with that there are 2 other places. I'll tell their names too. Laurie, Nandangarh is one place where the single lion capital is there. Then along with that, so this finishes 5. There is one more capital which is made out of bull. Okay, which is made in the shape of a bull. Okay, bull imaged capital is present, and it is present at a place called Rampurva. It is found at a place called Rampurva, and today it is present in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, it has been relocated from, okay, Rampurva to Rashtrapati Bhavan. That is the second one. Third one. And the fourth one is the symbol, which is the elephant symbol capital is also there. So these are the 7 different kinds of capitals which are present. So these 7 different kinds of capitals we'll discuss about. Okay, is this fine? Then when it comes to the Indian emblem usually has this 4 lion capital, and below that there is a circular disc also, abacus. From abacus to, okay, the middle capital region is selected as Indian emblem, and below that there is a symbol of Satyameva Jayati. Okay, where is it taken from? Mundaka Upanishad, they have taken this Satyameva Jayati symbol. So abacus and the 4 lion capital is adopted as Indian emblem. And in this abacus also, there are images of some animals punctuated by Dharmachakras. It means that, okay, there are 4 images of different kinds of animals, and in between them there are Dharmachakras. Are you following what I'm going to say? And this abacus images are, one, there is a horse which is trying to run. Okay, prancing horse it is called. Then along with the horse, there is the image of a walking elephant. Okay, horse, elephant. Then along with that, there is the image of a tiger. Sorry, not tiger, lion. Lion is one more image that is present. Horse, bull, lion, and elephant. So 4 different images are present or carved in the form of bas relief on the abacus. Abacus doesn't have 3D images. They are carved onto the stone. Are you people following me? Okay, so these are the 4 images which are present on the abacus. And the lower capital pay, there is, okay, the lotus capital is not taken. Lotus capital is the lower capital that is not taken as part of Indian emblem. Are you following this? So these are the images of Ashoka Maurya. Okay, Ashoka Maurya, and most of these images, they have very fine finish to them, which is known as Mauryan polish. You remember even this Barabar cave also had this Mauryan polish. Very finely carved images these are. Then along with that, the main stone which is used is, one is buff colored sandstone, and the other is, okay, one more stone tradition is there. So one is found at Varanasi and the other is present at this place called Mathura. Okay, Mathura is red fine sandstone. Then at Varanasi, buff colored, okay, buff grey colored sandstone is there. So buff grey colored or, okay, the red sandstone they have used in carving the images. And this is the story of Ashokan Pillars. Just have a look at the slides once. Okay, they have Mauryan polish. Okay, and these images, okay, they're depicted in realistic fashion. Okay, can they be in realistic fashion? Okay, you cross this out. Okay, don't write realistic. Okay, they are idealized versions. I'm sorry. Okay, they are idealized versions. They are not realistic depictions. Okay, they are idealized versions. Let's see the image of this lion. Okay, are lions present in this format anywhere? Are they realistic depiction? Huh? They are idealized lions, right? Okay, they are not realistic. So they are idealized depictions. Okay, idealized depictions. This is the famous Sarnath pillar. Okay, this is done in buff colored this grey sandstone. Okay, buff grey sandstone is this one. This is the lotus capital, which is known as lower capital. Okay, lotus flower, inverted lotus flower is there. Then on top of it, the abacus is there. Okay, abacus is showing the image of bull here and elephant here. On the other side, you have the lion and horse image. On top of it, there are 4 lions which are sitting, okay, back to back, and their manes, you have a look at the manes, okay, so manes are shown in an elongated fashion, and even the lions are, the depiction of the lions is also not close to reality. They are idealized form of lions, and all of them are shown in roaring pose, okay, roaring pose they are shown in, and originally it used to have an upper capital of this format, which is known as the wheel Dharmachakra, okay, but this is lost now. We don't have the Dharmachakra, it is broken down, okay, and this is a reconstructed Sarnath pillar. This is a reconstructed Sarnath pillar, okay, so this is the image, and one second. First, let me finish these things, then we'll go to that. So, they are idealized formats, okay, idealized depiction, capitals on abaci, capitals, and on abaci there are animal images, you write. Capitals and abaci are made of animal images, okay, lively posters and floral designs, okay, most of the pillars have this floral design, okay, foliate design. It means that across the taper, here also there are some flower designs, okay, here and there. Then they have elemental solidity to them, strong and bull-necked animals, okay, the animals show a sense of strength, okay, they are very, very strong. You can see the image of Rampurva bull too. There you can see this bull-necked animals. Bull-necked means very strong, okay, it's not given there, the image Rampurva bull, okay, you can check it in your phone, okay. So solid images have elemental solidity, strong and bull-necked animals, tapering pillars, upper, middle and lower capital is present, and the stone used is buff grey sandstone at Varanasi, spotted red and fine sandstone from Mathura, okay, two kinds of stones were used, and there are altogether 7 remaining complete capitals, 5 with lions, 1 with an elephant and 1 with a Zebu bull. Zebu bull is Rampurva. On top of it lay the capital, which was either lotus shaped or bell shaped, okay, that is done. Above the capital there was a circular or rectangular base known on the abacus, on which an animal figure was placed. This also we have discussed. Next, lion capitals of Ashoka are situated in Sarnath, Vaishali, Sanchi, Lauria Nandangarh and Rampurva, okay, in which Vaishali, Lauria Nandangarh and Rampurva is single lion capital. Lauria Nandangarh I told, okay, Lauria Nandangarh, Vaishali and Rampurva are lion. Rampurva may we found 2 Ashokan pillars, one is bull and the other one is single lion. Okay, lion capital Sarnath, which is now the emblem of the government of India, is one of the finest example of sculpture from the Mauryan period and was built by Ashoka in commemoration of, okay, Dharmachakra Parivartana, okay, Pravartana, sorry, not Parivartana, Pravartana, Dharmachakra Pravartana, or the first sermon of Buddha. Where is the first sermon given? Sarnath. Sarnath is the place where first sermon is given, so that is the reason why it is known as Dharmachakra Pravartana. Okay. Okay, next one is abacus has the depiction of chakra in all 4 directions and a bull, horse, elephant and lion between every chakra. Okay, elephants denote what? Buddhas? Jati. Don't remember? Jati, Avakranti, Sambodhi. What is the meaning of Jati? Conception of Buddha. Okay, conception of Buddha is known as Avakranti or Jati. Okay, I've given it after some time. Okay, we'll check it there. Okay, so this is Buddha's conception. Elephant denotes Buddha's conception. Bull denotes, it is the zodiac sign of Buddha, that is Taurus. Okay, Taurus is the zodiac sign of Buddha. Horse denotes Buddha leaving from his home. Okay, then lion denotes enlightenment of Buddha. Okay, here lion denotes enlightenment. Usually it is Bodhi tree, but here Ashoka changed it. Okay, so Ashoka changed it. So lion, it symbolized enlightenment here. 4 lion capital at Sanchi and Sarnatha. Single lion is Lauria Nandangarh, single bull is Rampurva, and single elephant is present at this place called Samkisa. Okay, Samkisa pillar image, but this is very much destroyed. Okay, it's not in a proper format. Then Sarnatha pillar, lions are shown in heraldic poses, huge manes and in roaring pose, stylized but not realistic. Abacus animals I have already talked about, crowned by a wheel which is lost now. Okay, Ashoka's Dhamma, it mainly contains the ideas of Saubhra, Tattva, Ahimsa, Shil. Okay, and Samanvaya is also one more, Samanvaya. And they mainly talk about this Dhammaguna and Bhavashuddhi. I think I talked about this, Dhammaguna and Bhavashuddhi at one point of time. Okay, Dhammaguna are the ethical principles that a person has to follow. Bhavashuddhi is purity in thought. Purity in thought, purity in action. Okay, that is the meaning of both of them. Bhava Shuddhi is purity in thought. Okay, Dhammaguna is purity in action. So these are Ashokan pillars for us. See, and the pillars are mainly present in North India. They're not present in South India. In Ashoka's pillars, all of them are present in North India only. None of them are present in South. Okay, in South, he mainly erected, okay, this Musky inscription. There are many other inscriptions which are present in South. Okay, but the inscriptions are not done on pillars. They are done on rocks. Okay, so remember rock inscriptions of Ashoka? Talked about them. I have given a list of the inscriptions also. Here, list of the most famous inscriptions. I have shown the image. I have discussed about them. Yeah, I can sense that you people have long forgotten all these things. Any question? No questions? Okay. Now we'll have a look at the Mauryan age sculpture, okay, which is independent sculpture, which is not associated with any pillar, but independent sculpture. There are 3 images in total. Okay, one is known as this emerging elephant, which is present at a place called Dhauli or Tosali. Okay, Tosali, you remember? It is present in Kalinga. Dhauli or Tosali is present in Kalinga. There we have this half-carved elephant image. In UPSC, they will ask this question. Okay, with respect to Mauryan age, half-carved elephant is present in which of the following places? Okay, it is present in Kalinga. Dhauli or Tosali elephant it is called. Tosali, not Tosali, Tosali. And then along with that, there is one more image which is known as the image of Yaksha. Okay, this Yaksha image is present in this place called Parkam. Parkam Yaksha. Okay, Parkam is present very close by to Patna region. Okay, Parkam Yaksha. Parkam Yaksha. You remember? Okay, Yakshas and Yakshi, they are very, very popular images. Okay, so because they are more prominent gods than the Vedic gods at one point of time. Okay, because for each activity there used to be one specific god. I told you that Kubera is also a Yaksha, god of money. Yes, okay, Shalabhaji is one more Yakshi who is a symbol or emblem of fertility. Shalabhaji. Okay, so even Indra and others are also considered Yakshas at one point of time. Okay, usually, okay, you know this Yaksha, Gandharva, okay, Nagas, all of these are part of the folk religions of India, which pre-existed before the Vedic religion. And what Hinduism has done is it has integrated these Yakshas and Yakshis and integrated each with one god. Take the example of Lord Balaji. Okay, Lord Balaji is in association with Kubera. Okay, it is said that he is in debt of Kubera. That's the reason why we have to put money in the hundi. You know this Lord Balaji story, Venkateshwara. So it means that Kubera got integrated with Lord Balaji here. Are you getting it? Okay, similarly, most of the Indian religions, they try to integrate the local religions which are known as Yaksha and Yakshi things. Okay, and of these Yakshas, this is one image which is present, which is known as Parkam Yaksha image. Parkam Yaksha image. Okay, so Parkam Yaksha image, and one more image is there which is known as the Yakshi image of Didragans. Okay, Didragans Yakshi. Didragans Yakshi and Parkam Yaksha. Okay, and Parkam Yaksha is not very important sculpturally, but Didragans Yakshi is important. Okay, here also the Mauryans, they adopted a stylized image than original image. Okay, real images say they did not give a lot of importance to realistic image, but a stylized image of this Yakshi. This Yakshi is considered to be an emblem of fertility, and she is shown catching a chauri in one hand. Chauri means it is a kind of fan, right? Chauri. Okay, chauri is a fan. So she is carrying a chauri in one hand. Okay, and she is also very well decorated. She is having some necklace and other things. Okay, hair also in bun fashion. Okay, and very well built body and very tall image, nearly 5 feet 2 inch tall. This image is and this is also made in this buff colored gray sandstone. Buff colored sandstone it is made in. Okay, and it has also the fine Mauryan polish to it. Yes, fine Mauryan polish is there. And I'll just tell about the story of how this image is formed. See, originally on the river banks of Ganga, okay, people used to wash clothes. This is very common, okay, Indians do this. So at that point of time, there is a very good stone which is present there. Again, people used to, okay, consider it to be a very good stone for washing clothes, okay, and they used to wash clothes for nearly thousands of years. They did this, and finally, okay, on one fine day, some historian or archaeologist goes there. No, the local people, okay, they try to turn the, they try to turn the stone. Once they turned the stone, then they found out that this is the image of some goddess. Okay, then they informed the archaeological department. They came running and they pulled it out, and then it is known as this ekshi. Usually they used to, okay, wash clothes on the back of this ekshi. Okay, that is a story of how this thing is formed. Okay, just small thing. Okay, this is the image, Ekshi's image. Okay, very, very prominent one. Okay, stylized body features, not realistic. Okay, Mauryan polish is there. Okay, ornamented lady. Okay, hair in bun. One hand is lost, the other hand it holds a chauri. Okay, and she is having this dress which is shown in this petal format. Okay, in order to depict the dress, it is shown in petal format. This is the image. Okay, meaning of Ekshi, female earth spirit. Significance is associated with wealth, abundance, and fertility. Made of sandstone. Height is 5 foot 2 inches. All of these things are given there. Okay, crafted in roughly 3rd century BC and excavated in 1970. And the body style is known as voluptuous figure with full bust, slender waist, and wide at hips. Okay, this is known as voluptuous figure. Okay, so this is a story of Ekshi. Vidraganj Ekshi, there is a fine finish and realism. Sorry, not realism. Again, here also again there is a mistake. Idealism nahi, realism nahi, idealism. Parkam Eksha. Okay, Ekshi is a tall and well-built body with great attention to the rounded muscular body and great detailing of the lower garments of the body with each fold of the garment depicted. She holds a chauri in one hand. She holds a chauri in one hand. Okay, so this is fine. Okay, this is the image of the Ekshi. Any questions still here? No? Okay, so where it is found means it is found at Didraganj. That is the reason why she is known as Didraganj Ekshi. Okay, Didraganj Ekshi, idealized format, okay, full voluptuous body, okay, with a very finely carved body structure. Okay, with a finely carved body structure is something which is prominent here. So this is the story of Mauryan sculpture. Okay, one is pillar, the other one is this independent sculpture. Now we are going to move to the post-Mauryan age. In post-Mauryan age also, okay, there are relief sculpture and 3D sculpture. Relief sculpture are very prominent, and these relief sculptures are usually attached to the stupas which were constructed during this period. You remember Sanchi Stupa? Okay, it had a railing to it, and the railing also had some sculpture on them, relief sculpture. Okay, you remember the entrance gateways which are known as Toranas, and Toranas also had a lot of images carved on them, and all of them are relief sculpture. And this relief sculpture, initially it was a low relief sculpture, and later day it started becoming high relief sculpture. And when it comes to low relief sculpture, it is mainly present at this place called Bharat. Then in Gaya and Sanchi, the images have high relief. High relief means more depth is there, and the images are well carved when compared to the images at Bharat. So relief sculpture is present at Bharat, Gaya, and Sanchi, 3 places. And here also the relief sculpture is mainly present on the railings. Okay, railing, you remember? Okay, this pillars are there which are known as stamba, and along with that there is a cross Ushnisha on top, okay, and a stamba below. Okay, I don't remember exactly. Okay, but railing has 3 parts to it. One is this pillar. Then along with that, the horizontal bar will be there, and there will be top bar which is known as Ushnisha. And wherever, okay, these horizontal and vertical bars interacted, on the junction of that, they used to construct some medallions. Remember? No. Okay, forgot, but fine. Okay, medallion means a rounded structure. Okay, a rounded structure which is carved on the interface of, okay, the vertical and horizontal bars is known as medallion. So there they constructed or they depicted a lot of medallions. And along with that, Torana is there. Torana has, okay, some vertical pillars to them. Then along with that, horizontal pillars are there on top. Okay, 3 pillars which are known as architraves. I talked about it. Remember? So architraves and the pillars were also having a lot of images to them. So the vertical pillar is known as stamba. Okay, the horizontal things are known as architraves. And at the interaction of architrave and pillar also, there were many images which are carved. And along with that, okay, wherever this horizontal and vertical bar interact, okay, on this side there is a niche there. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, niche is there. I'll show the images also, then you will understand it better. So the vertical bar and horizontal bar is there, and this junction is known as niche, and here also some images are carved. So this is okay, the images which are present and the relief sculpture which is present. And in relief sculpture, mainly in all these three places, Bharat, Gaya and Sanchi, Buddha is never depicted in human form. Okay, Buddha is depicted with symbols, because at that point of time they felt that okay, carving Buddha will reduce his sacredness, and the artist might make some mistakes while carving Buddha, so it might be considered as a sin. That's the reason why they never carved the image of Buddha in any of these stupas. Remember this? Okay, and along with that, they also had this fear that they will never be able to replicate Buddha in his radiance on stone. So that radiance cannot be replicated. That's the reason why we should not carve Bulke. They never carved any image of Buddha. And they represented Buddha in the form of some symbols and images. And of these symbols, the most prominent one is the elephant symbol. Okay, Maya on lotus. She's sleeping on lotus and she will get a dream of an elephant. Okay, that is one. Second one is, okay, the birth of Buddha. Sorry, birth of Buddha is the one where Maya is sleeping on a lotus. Okay, the first one is Maya's dream of an elephant. Maya dream of an elephant is Buddha's conception. Second, birth of Buddha is Maya sleeping on lotus. Third is, okay, Buddha leaving his house, that is represented by a horse. Then the fourth one is Buddha attaining enlightenment, which is shown with a Bodhi tree. And fifth is Buddha teaching his message to the public, which is shown in the form of Dharmachakra, lost. Okay, Dharmachakra. And the sixth one is, okay, the death of Buddha, which is shown in the format of, how is Buddha's death shown? Mahaparinirvana is depicted in the form of a stupa. After dead, okay, what will happen? He will be buried. And on burial, what will they construct? Stupa. So stupa will be representation of the death of Buddha. So these images are mainly depicted. And along with that, okay, they also depicted the images of Jataka tales. Remember Jataka tales? Where are they present? Animal-based stories. Okay, where are they present? Okay, Ajanta paintings is fine, but textually, where are they present? Which book they are present in? Nikaya tradition, you remember? So many facts are there, sir. How can we remember? It's not possible. So Nikaya, okay, they are present as part of this Buddhist literary tradition, which is known as Nikaya. Okay, this is known as Nikaya. Nikaya tradition they are present in, and these Jataka tales are also depicted. Jatakas are the stories, okay, through which animals preach ethics to human beings. I think I talked about them. Okay, they also became the basis for later day emergence of Panchatantra under Vishnu Sharma, and then later they went on to become part of this Arabian Nights in medieval world. Kalalava Dima. Okay, people have to revise the notes regularly. So the notes is very, very important. There's no replacement to it. Okay, because it is not one book. Okay, it's many books combined is notes. You have to read it. Okay. So Jataka tales are part of this Nikaya tradition, and many Jataka tales are depicted here. And usually in the Jataka tales are the stories of the previous lives of Buddha. Okay, previous lives of Buddha. Buddha is born as an elephant, horse. Sometimes he is born as a small kid. So this kind, everyone is born as a small kid. Okay, so but he is depicted in various formats as different kinds of bodhisattvas. Okay, that is all part of this Jataka tales. Okay, now see this. Along with that, during postmodern age, there is one pillar which is present, which is known as Garuda Pillar of this person called Heliodorus. Heliodorus Garuda Pillar, very prominent one. It is present at a place called Vidisha. Okay, and this pillar, it proclaims, you write this down, it proclaims Heliodorus' faith in Bhagavatism. Okay, Heliodorus is a very Greek name, right? Okay, but he proclaimed that he is a Bhagavata, and he established this pillar at this place called Vidisha. Okay, Vidisha is a place where there is a Vishnu temple, Okay, remember Vidisha, where is it located? Madhya Pradesh. Okay, Madhya Pradesh, Vidisha. Okay, I'll stop asking questions. Okay, both you and me, both of us are feeling bad about the questions, so it's better not to ask questions. Okay, I'll leave it to your discretion what you want to remember and leave. Vidisha is a Vishnu temple, and in front of this, Heliodorus, he established this pillar. Very, very important fact. High possibility of a question here. You put a star mark there. Okay, Garuda Pillar. Originally, it had a capital of Garuda. Okay, but it is not present now anymore. Okay, bas relief sculpture. Low relief is 1 to 3 centimeters. High relief is greater than 3 centimeters. And they are present at places like Bharat, Gaya, Sanchi, mainly decorating the railings and gateways. And 3D sculpture is present at 3 places: Gandhara, Mathura, and Amaravati. So we'll discuss about the 3D images later. Now, see this. Okay, this is how the relief sculpture look like. Okay, this is actually a railing. Are you seeing this railing? Okay, stamba, the entire stamba is carved in the shape of a woman. Okay, so then this is the medallion. Medallion looks this way. And what is the image of this medallion? What it is trying to show? Huh? Maya's dream. Yes. Okay, Buddha's conception. Okay, you can see the element. Okay, flying elephant. Okay, but because they didn't know how to depict depth, okay, it is shown as if the elephant is falling on Maya. Okay, so because this element of depth is not known in the initial phases. Okay, but later they developed this element of depth. I will show that this is also important, which is known as perspective. Okay, perspective in paintings and sculpture. Whenever there is no perspective, you will not be able to show depth in image. Okay, so rather than showing this horizontality, they will show it vertically. Are you getting this? Which is known as absence of perspective. You can write it down. Okay, absence of perspective is clearly shown here. This absence of perspective. Okay, usually see these attendants are also sitting below Maya, but ideally it should have been caught attendant sitting on this side and elephant is on top. Are you getting this? Okay, but it is shown in this vertical format because horizontality cannot be shown in sculpture. Okay, because they did not have this capability which is known as perspective. Depth showing capability they did not have. Are you getting this? Slowly this has developed in Indian sculpture. Okay, I'll talk about this too. So this is the stamba. So mainly in relief sculpture they showed Yaksha, Yakshi. They have good finish and decoration. Medallions contain Jataka stories and there are low and high relief. Okay, and mainly at Bharat, the images are flat and hanging features they have. It means that they are low relief features. Low relief features means, okay, the images, they will be shown as if they will be hanging from the wall. Okay, very, very poor images. Bharat, Gaya, deeper relief, 3/4 poses are shown and human heads with portrait-like features. Okay, so I'll talk about this 3/4 pose. 3/4 pose means the capability to depict nearly 3/4 of your face. 3/4. Okay, 3/4 means 3/4 of your face will be depicted rather than full image. Okay, full frontal face, they depict the image in 3/4 poses. Okay, 3/4 poses. See the image of this lady, 3/4 pose, face. Okay, she is not looking straight. She is having this side look. Okay, with just 3/4 of the face visible to the onlooker. Okay, because depicting the full face is also a very important art form that is not developed here. That is the reason why they typically adopted to this 3/4 pose. Okay, then portrait-like features. It means that some medallions have this face. Okay, only face is depicted in the medallion. Okay, different kinds of hairstyles, different kinds of headdress. All of these are depicted. And Sanchi, Sanchi is the best place to talk about the bas relief of India. Okay, it has cheerful and busy realism and exuberance. Tribhanga postures of Shalabhajikas and Jatakas and life and types of Buddha are depicted. Okay, the Toranas are depicted with pillar, pillar capital, architrave and bracketed niche. I'll show the images. So these are the images. So the image of Shalabhajika, she is presented in the bracketed niche. Okay, so full image if I show them, you can understand. So this is architrave. These are the pillars. Okay, and the interface of them, there is this 3D image of Shalabhajika, very, very prominent one. Okay, she is considered to be the spirit of forest. She is considered to be an auspicious symbol of fertility. Okay, forest spirit, Shalabhajika. Okay, because wherever she is standing, okay, they see the plants are growing. Okay, so that is the image, Shalabhajika image. She is also standing in Tribhanga pose. Tribhanga pose she is standing in. Okay, see, it is very intricately and finely carved. Are you able to see this? Okay, very finely and intricately carved. Every centimeter, every inch of the pillar is carved very thoroughly. Okay, Sanchi Images. Okay, and it depicts the life of forest, the life of urban areas. Okay, forest and urban areas lives are depicted. Forest means the thick jungles of India are depicted. Okay, urban areas means okay the procession of people. Okay, and some ladies. Okay, they are looking from the balconies of their house. Okay, so looking at the people who are going on the street. All of these images are present here. Okay, very very prominent one. So these are the Sanchi Stupa. Can you see this image? Okay, people are going in the street, okay, on horses and other carriages. And some women, they're standing in balconies and they're looking onto these people who are traveling there. Okay, this is the typical Indian method to pass time. Yes or no? Rather than focusing on what has to be done in home, our focus will always be on streets. Okay, that was from then on, it was the same case. Okay, this is the story. Okay, so elephant riders are going. Okay, every image has balcony, and balcony, it has some ladies who are looking down onto the streets. Okay, this is the image of stupa. Okay, so stupa, and some king has come to visit the stupa to pay his respects. Okay, that is the image which is depicted. Okay, some people say that it is Ashoka Maurya, but there is no evidence for it. Okay, because some of these, particularly these things, they are built during the period of Shungas. They are built during the period of Shungas. They were actually donations of the ivory carvers of Vidisha region. Remember, I told about this before. Okay, ivory carvers of Vidisha region, they contributed to this sculptures. You write it down. Okay, the ivory carvers of Vidisha contributed to the establishment of Toranas. Contributed to the establishment of Toranas. This image, it shows them even more clearly. You're understanding the architraves, vertical stambhas, then along with that, bracketed niche where some images are there. Okay, every place there is Shalabhaji, right? She is the representation of Buddhist, okay, auspiciousness. See, when the Western Europeans came to India, okay, they read the Buddhist texts. And in Buddhist texts, they mainly talk about renunciation. It means that you have to leave your life and go into forest to meditate and then attain nirvana, moksha. Okay, so that's what they say. But when it comes to the sculpture, in sculpture, okay, every place you have the images of, okay, women's images are there. Okay, then there are the images of, okay, busy life of people. Okay, very secular life subject matters are being depicted. So they were a little confused. What are they preaching and what are they showing? Even on Hindu temples also the same way. Okay, I think I talked about this when I discussing about Khajuraho temple. Okay, wherein in Indian religious texts they write about renunciation. But Indian sculpture and art forms, they always try to show life in its complete beauty. Okay, so life in its complete beauty is depicted in all the paintings and sculpture. Indian sculpture and paintings never rejected life as it is. They accepted life as it is. And, okay, but through these images only, they tried to show the path of renunciation. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Okay, so fine. Okay, then if you understood, then it is good. This is the image of, okay, what is the image here? People tree. Okay, empty stage. People tree is nirvana of Buddha. Okay, Avakranti is Maya's dream. Jati is birth. Okay, you write it there. Avakranti is conception. Jati is birth. Mahabhinishramana is renunciation. Sambodhi is enlightenment. Dharmachakra Parivartana is this preaching. Mahaparinirvana is death. Mahaparinirvana is death. Avakranti is conception. Jati is birth. Mahabhinishramana is renunciation. Renunciation. Sambodhi is enlightenment. It is given there. Dharmachakra Parivartana is preaching. Okay, the start of preaching. Mahaparinirvana is death of Buddha. And there is a good possibility of a question on this. Okay. Next one is Postmodern 3D sculpture. Okay. So the class has to continue till 12 o'clock. So shall I give a 5-minute break in between? Just like that to freshen you guys up. Okay. So just 5-minute break. Okay. You take, and by 10:40 we'll come back again. Okay. And we'll continue our discussion till 12. Yes. Yes. Now, we're going to discuss about the three major schools of sculpture in India, that is Gandhara, Mathura, and Amaravati. Along with that, fourth school is there, Sarnath, okay, which belongs to the Guptan period. So I'll discuss about Sarnath separately. But first, these three schools, and many questions in UPSC mains from 2013 to 2020, roughly 2 times there was a mains question on Gandhara art, and the influences of Greece and Rome on Gandhara art is one question. Then there is a high possibility of a question on Amaravati too, because Amaravati is also a very important school of sculpture, and Sarnath is also very important. Okay, but Mathura pe I don't expect a prelims question, mains question, but there is a high possibility of a prelims question there. So we'll discuss what is the idea behind these art forms, what kind of images they depicted, and what kind of style they followed. Okay, each school had its own specific style. Okay, they had their own ideas of what an ideal image should look like. So these things we are going to discuss. So first and foremost, we'll start with the Gandhara school. And this Gandhara school is the one which started, the depiction of Lord Buddha in human form for the first time. Because the European world, even before their contact with India, they had this tradition of depicting their gods in the form of human beings. Yes or no? Okay, take the case of Hellenistic culture. You might have heard about these gods like Zeus, Thor. Okay, then there are many other gods like Apollo. Okay, Atlas is one more god. Okay, the person who rotates the earth. Okay, Atlas, Apollo. Apollo is sun god. Okay, then similarly, Zeus is the god of heavens. Then Thor is the god of thunder. So this way, Poseidon is one more god. Okay, he's a god of oceans. Yesterday only I think we talked about these things. No, okay, but sometime we talked about these Greek gods. Okay, so these Greek gods were depicted in human form, and in Greek world, prior to their contact with India itself, they had this depiction of gods in human form. So once they came into contact with India, when did the European world come into contact with India? Okay, because of Alexander's invasion first, and post-Alexander invasion, during post-Mauryan period, many Indo-Greeks, Shakas, Parthians, Kushanas, they entered India, and they carried their own idea of how a god should look like. And they started depicting Lord Buddha in their image of God, so as to endear the Greeks towards Buddhism. Yes or no? Okay, if a god is similar to you, then automatically you will get attracted to him. Yes or no? If he is very different from you, then naturally you will not get attracted towards God. Yes or no? So they started creating gods in their own image of how a god should look like. Are you following what I'm trying to say? So with this intention, what they did is they started depicting Lord Buddha in the tradition which was already well developed in the Western world, which is known as the philosopher tradition. In this philosopher tradition, Buddha's images are also depicted, and Buddha is depicted in the form of a stylized Greek god, and Buddha is typically depicted with a very, very good physical stature, a very, very good body. Just remember that most of them, they look like, about the South African cricket team. The white people in South African cricket team, they are usually very hefty. Even Australian cricketers are also very hefty. Yes, very well built muscular body structures. So Buddha's images are also depicted in the same format. Even though Buddha is an Indian god, he is converted into a Greek person. He is given a very fit body first. Then along with fit body, he is given curly hair. Curly hair. And along with that, through this curly hair, he is to have this top knot, which is known as Ushnisha. Ushnisha is the top knot. Top knot Ushnisha he started showing with. Then along with that, he is shown with this very broad face. Usually broad faces are, Western faces are very broad. Along with broad faces, very well cut chin. Square jaw, chin which is very well cut, sharp nose. Very big eyes and a protruding forehead. And the body which is the body of a fighter. Fighter's body with very sculpted and muscled body. So all of these things are attributed to Buddha, and they started making Buddha's images in this light. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Along with that, the attire of the European world is usually they wear woolen garments, which are having heavy drapery and solid clothes usually they wear, because in order to tolerate the winter. So here also Buddha's images are also depicted with the same kind of dressing pattern. So it means that Buddha, he is an Indian god who is adopted to the Greek form in Gandhara art form. Are you getting this? Protruding forehead, which shows that this person is very knowledgeable. You cannot project a person's knowledge directly, right? So what you do is you make his forehead a little bulbous. So this bulbous forehead, it depicts that this person is very smart. First, along with that, they also started depicting Buddha's ears in an elongated format. Okay, elongated ears are usually present for whom? Okay, for people who wear heavy gold ornaments, then the ears get elongated. You might have seen some old ladies also sometimes. Okay, so the ears get elongated. So this elongated ear, it represents that this person at one point of time, he belonged to the royalty, because royalty wears a lot of ornaments. Because of that, okay, the ears will get elongated. So Buddha's images are also depicted with elongated ears. Then curly hair. Okay, curly hair is a typical feature of the European world, not Indian. Okay, so then curly hair is given to him. Then along with that, okay, very good physique is given to him. Okay, muscular arms are given to him. Then okay, a very well carved and chiseled body is given to him. Okay, then square jaw. Okay, very good chin, sharp nose. Okay, then very big eyes are given to Lord Buddha. And this is what is known as Gandhara architecture. Are you following what I'm trying to say? And while depicting Buddha, they either carved stone or they made the images of Buddha in stucco. Stucco is lime. Okay, stucco images are stone carved images were made by the Gandhara architects. And most of the Gandhara architects, they are the Europeans. But because they got converted to Buddhism, they started depicting the images of Buddha. You remember this mill in the Panho? Okay, where King Meander is converted into Buddhism. Then later day, even Kushana King Kanishka also got converted to Buddhism. So because of these conversions, they started making the images of Buddha in large number. Okay, in large number. And even the Bamiyan statues of Buddha. You know Bamiyan statues? Where are they located? Afghanistan. Okay, they were initially destroyed by Taliban. Okay, in 1990s only, once during their rule earlier. So these Bamiyan Buddhas are also made in this Gandhara format only. And this Gandhara format is mainly present in northwest of India. Are you following me? Northwest of India. And along with these things, see, Buddha is also integrated into, okay, their own format of ornamentation. Usually the form of ornamentation which they followed. Okay, in India, I told you that before that, in Ashoka images and in Indus Valley civilization images, we find this foliate design, trifoliate design, okay, flower pattern. But here, the Greeks, they followed an ornamentation pattern which is known as a vine scroll pattern. Vine scroll pattern usually has this grape vines on top of it, along with the grapes. Okay, I'll show it to you. Okay, because in Mediterranean world is the main place where grapes are produced. So, okay, citrus fruit and grape is also produced there. So they depicted or they ornamented the images with this vine scroll format. And along with that, Buddha's images are depicted along with, okay, the Western world's ideas of angel. Okay, angels are, okay, the people who, Yakshas and Ikshis of Western world are angels. Yes, same. So Yakshas and Ikshis of the Western world are angels, and angels are depicted with Lord Buddha. And along with the angels, you know about this god called Cupid, okay, winged god, who is responsible for, okay, love, Cupid. So this Cupid is also depicted along with Lord Buddha. Okay, winged angels. It means that small kids with wings will be there. Are you getting the picture of how they look like? So these Cupids are also depicted along with Lord Buddha. Then along with that, Buddha is standing at center, and on one side Hercules, and on the other side Apollo is standing. So these kind of images are also depicted. Okay, so these kind of images, and along with that, Buddha is shown, okay, in many different formats. Okay, one of the famous image of Gandhara sculpture is, okay, this image where Buddha has conducted penance. You remember this? He went for extreme forms of austerity without consuming food in order to attain moksha. At the end of it, he almost woke up like a skeleton, and he felt that this is not the right method to attain nirvana. Okay, he consumed food and he found the middle path. You remember? So when Buddha conducted his extremities, what kind of image is there for Buddha? I have given it. Okay, the skeletal Buddha is called. Skeletal Buddha image is there. Okay, can you see that skeletal Buddha? Then along with that, okay, what they did is, along with Buddha's images, they also started including many other images as part of Buddha. Okay, many other images surrounding Buddha's center. Okay, so these kind of things are also they have done. And along with that, these are the people who first used this system called halo. Okay, because a person's charm and a person's this what is it called? Not charm. Okay, glow. Okay, some people will have this glow to them. Okay, people who typically, okay, indulge themselves in a lot of meditation. Okay, and people who have spiritual powers, they have this glow to them. In order to, okay, because in sculpture it cannot be properly translated. So what they used to do is they used to construct a halo around the head. Halo means, okay, this is the symbol of a sun. It means that this person's face is really glowing. Because I am unable to depict it on sculpture, I am putting a sun behind it. So that is what is known as halo. Okay, halo. In okay, movies which are Janapadas, there also you might see some gods with this halo at the back. Yes, okay. So halo is also something which is depicted by the Gandhara School of architecture. So it has some Roman influences, Greek influences to them. Yes or no? Okay, so all of these things are used here. Okay, just have a look at this Gandhara sculpture. Okay, mainly present in northwest of India. It is brought by Indo-Greeks, Shakas and Kushanas. And the sandstone they used is blue-grey schist and green phyllite. Blue-grey schist and green phyllite are the stones. Okay, blue-grey schist, it looks a little bit of a blue color. Okay, then this green phyllite, the images, they come off like green color. Okay, then stucco and lime plaster images are also made by them. Buddha and Bodhisattva themes they mainly selected. Okay, and they had both relief and 3D sculpture. Okay, Buddha is shown in standing and sitting position. Okay, usually Buddha is shown with bent legs. Okay, bent legs and heavy robes he is shown with. He has been given a halo, curly hair, elongated earlobes. Okay, halo for the glow of Buddha, elongated earlobes signifying his royalty. Okay, and he was also shown with this Ushnisha. Ushnisha is the top knot. Okay, top knot is known as Ushnisha. No, you leave it. Okay, leave the mudra. Ushnisha is the top knot. Okay, they also depicted the images of this future Buddha too. Remember future Buddha? According to Mauryan tradition, there is going to be a Buddha will be reborn, reincarnation. Okay, he is known as Maitreya. This has been asked as a UPSC question. Okay, and they also had Greek and Roman influences to them. Okay, his face is elongated, sharp nose, square jaw, elongated and drooping eyes, bulbous forehead, muscular body, and cupids and angels are used for ornamentation. Scrolls are present, foliate designs also they followed. Okay, they also showed some Greek gods like Hercules and Apollo along with Buddha. Here, Buddha is idealized than naturalistic. Yes or no? Okay, is it naturalistic Buddha? Yeah, Buddha would have had similar Indian typical features. Okay, why will he look like a Greek god? Okay, he is born in Bihar, okay, Nepal. So his features will not be so well formed, right? Okay, but they did this. Okay, Greco-Roman philosopher tradition, and they started the anthropomorphic tradition. Okay, anthropomorphic means depicting God in human form. Depicting God in human form is known as anthropomorphic tradition. Okay, this is the wine scroll. Can you see the wine scroll image? Okay, grapes and scrolling. Okay, wine scrolls it is known as. Okay, and also in some of their sculptures they showed this capital also, which is known as Corinthian Capital. We already talked about this Corinthian Capital once, if you remember. Yesterday. Okay, classical Greek construction style. Okay, Ionian. Okay, Corinthian pillar capital. Okay, this is the Corinthian pillar capital. Very well decorated pillar capital, right? Okay, so these images are also present, and this is the image of Buddha. He's surrounded by numerous gods. Okay, this is bas relief sculpture. Yes, Buddha is shown as a muscular person. Yes or no? Okay, well formed body. Then see the face. Okay, face also has very jaws, chin. Okay, everything is depicted. Then this is the image of Buddha's penance. Okay, became like a skeleton at the end of this penance. Extreme form of austerity has followed. Then he realized that this is not the right method to reach God. Yes. And then the dress that Buddha is wearing also has heavy drapery to them. Okay, huge heavy drapery is also present. Okay, this image I have seen directly. It is present in National Museum, Delhi. Okay, it's there. Okay, very, very good image. But all the features are Greek god tradition. Okay, Greek god tradition features are there. Buddha is shown in many mudras. Okay, this is the mudra of meditation. And here, okay, this mudra is supposed to be Abhaya mudra. Okay, this way, Abhaya. Okay, various mudras I'll talk about. Abhaya mudra is one mudra. It was supposed to be Abhaya mudra. This is the meditation pose. Okay, with the right over left. Okay, right over left. And along with that, this mudra is known as Dharmachakra Parivartana mudra. Okay, Dharmachakra Parivartana mudra, which means that he is preaching. Reading Dharmachakra Parivartana is preaching mudra. So this mudra is depicted preaching of Buddha. And he is surrounded by so many gods, you see. And so many gods surround him. Okay, so this is the, will you be able to write the Greco-Roman influence on the Gandhara art? Okay, so in terms of the very idea of showing God in human form is itself the Gandhara idea. Then along with that, okay, Buddha is depicted in the form of this philosopher tradition of European world. Okay, protruding head, every feature is Greek-like feature. Okay, hefty body, okay, muscular body, on all these things are Greek features. So Greek features along with, okay, the vine scroll ornamentation, cupids, angels, all of these things you have to write. Okay, twice it has been asked for 10 marks. Okay, and I think you'll be able to easily write it. Now, the next school is known as this Matras School of Architecture. And in Gandhara School, mainly the images are of Buddha. Okay, mainly the images are of Buddha. Okay, Buddha and Bodhisattvas, it is given there. Okay, Buddha and Bodhisattvas are given more significance here. Okay, is it given that Indo-Greeks, Kushanas patronized this school? It's given. Okay, so I think you have pretty much understood what Gandhara School of Architecture is. So sculpture is. Now the next one is the Matras School. Okay, Matras School is an indigenous school. Okay, which was developed in India. Okay, Matra is present. Where is Matra present? UP. Okay, UP Matra is there. So there this school emerged, which is known as Matras School of Sculpture. And this school of sculpture, apart from Buddhist images, it also depicted the images of Jainism, and along with that some Hindu gods are also depicted in these images. Hindu gods are also depicted, Buddhist, Jaina and Hindu gods, three things. And most of these images, they are made with the help of red sandstone. Okay, red sandstone, which is locally available material that is used for making these images. And these images, okay, so because the Greeks depicted Buddha in their own idea of how he looked like, and these people, Matra people, they depicted Buddha in terms of how Indians look like. Okay, Indian physique is more at emphasis here. Okay, then along with Indian physique, usually the Buddha's image is husky, a little bit bulky. Okay, not muscular but bulky. Okay, bulky is the typical Indian format of a body. Okay, so husky physique he is shown in. Along with that, okay, Buddha's image also has a little bit of a tummy. Okay, so a little bit of tummy is also there. And Buddha's images, they are depicted, okay, in majorly in sitting post. And along with that, okay, earlier Gandhara school has implemented the structure of halo, and these people, what they did is they adopted the same halo and they started ornamenting this halo. Ornamenting means they started depicting some smaller sculpture on the halo. Okay, smaller sculpture on the halo. Decorated halo is one unique thing about Madras School of Sculpture. And in this Madras School of Sculpture itself, okay, there is a very famous image of Kanishka. Remember headless statue of Kanishka? Story also. Okay, so headless statue of Kanishka is also part of the Madras School of Sculpture. Then along with that, okay, if you see in this Madras School of Sculpture, the images are not very well made. Okay, the Buddha's image or face is typically shown in the mood of anger. Okay, but it is exactly opposite of what Buddha preached. Okay, so will Buddha be angry at any point of time? So it goes against the essence, but the sculptor was not able to depict the higher forms of spirituality that Buddha attained. His face expressions were always shown in anger or in hurry. That is the reason why it is not considered to be a very, very good school of sculpture. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So just have a look at this. Spotted red sandstone is the one. It is an indigenous school, and it started depicting the images of Buddhism, Jainism, Bhagavatism, along with folk religions and secular subjects. And this school, it evolved from the sculptural traditions of Bharat and Sanchi. Bharat and Sanchi, ornamented halo is shown. Okay, and Buddha is also sometimes shown with this shaved head. Okay, so this shaved head shown with, okay, elongated ears, which is same. And here, there they made Buddha's images with Apollo and Hercules. Here they started making Buddha's images with the images of Indra and Brahma. Okay, Indra and Brahma's image were surrounding Buddha's image here. Okay, and fleshy body and husky physique, very stiff smile and oversized features. Okay, and the attire also they made, okay, an attire which is suitable to their climatic conditions. We made an attire which is suitable to our climatic conditions, which is clinging drapery and thin folds. Okay, it means that very cotton cloth, okay, which is very thin variety we usually wear. Okay, clinging drapery. And King's Gallery of Kushanas at Mathura. Okay, Kanakali Tila, you remember? The temple of the Kushana kings. I talked about it. Okay, it is present at a place called Kanakali Tila. Right now. Okay. Kanakalitila, okay, King's Gallery of Kushanas at Mathura. And okay, there are some stylistic features, there is similarity, but okay, some ideas there is similarity, but stylistic features there is a lot of difference. Okay, this is the headless statue of Kanishka. Okay, shown wearing this long coat, shoes, boots he is wearing. Okay, trousers he is wearing. Okay, then along with that he is holding onto in one hand a sword, in the other there is a what is it called? I think this is not a sword. Okay, sceptre it is called. Okay, you know. Okay, usually the kings have some small image emblem in their hands. Okay, which is known as sceptre. Okay, so headless statue of Kanishka is this. Then this is the image of Buddha. Have a look at the features of Buddha. Are they showing any element of spirituality? Okay, he's looking like a mischievous kid. Okay, okay, he's looking mischievous kid. Okay, so this is the image. See the ornamentation of halo. Okay, and mudra is Abhaya mudra. Okay, thin clinging drapery. Okay, sitting in a cross-legged position. This is the image of Mahavira. Okay, 4 directions, 4 different Tirthakaras are situated. Okay, Jaina image, Kanishka's image, and Buddha's image. Okay, but just remember some facts that it is an indigenous school of India. Indian idea of sculpture is depicted here. You write this. Okay, this school started depicting. Started depicting Indian idea of divinity. Okay, Indian idea of divinity, but it was unable to express okay, higher states of expression or consciousness. And the images are made in a crude format. Okay, so I think you know actors, right? So an actor, okay, who usually conveys a lot of meaning through his facial expressions is considered to be a good actor. Okay, a person who tries too much and conveys too little is considered to be a bad actor. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, so here Buddha's images are also made with a lot of ornamentation, but the exact face expression there they got compromised. Okay, and it was not able to depict high levels of spirituality. Very stiff smile is there. Okay, the body physique is also very husky. Okay, it's not very good. Okay, so this kind of problems are there with this Matras school. Okay, of architecture. Usually the good actors are the people who usually convey a lot of meaning through facial expressions, and here the facial expressions they're not conveying any good message. Okay, so this is the case. This is the Matras school, and the next one is Amaravati school. Okay, Amaravati school of sculpture, and it was patronized by Shatavahanas and Ikshvakus of Deccan region. Okay, Deccan regions, Shatavahanas and Ikshvakus, they depicted these images. Okay, and so the main centers of this Amaravati school are, one is Nagarjuna Konda. Remember Sri Parvat University? Acharya Nagarjuna, who is a close associate of Kanishka. Okay, he was the one who formulated this Madhyamika Marga, Sunyata ideology. Okay, Nagarjuna Konda is one of the center. And the second center of this Amaravati school is Amaravati itself. Okay, Amaravati is the second center. Amaravati and Nagarjuna Konda are the two centers. Now, when it comes to this Amaravati school, it is inspired by the Gandhara School. Okay, many influences of Gandhara School are seen here too. Okay, but the most unique aspect of this school is usually here, okay, the images of Buddha are shown in the format of a slender figure. Okay, slender figure, which is very close to Indian ideas of how a sannyasi looks like. Okay, if the sannyasi is very hefty, then you will consider that this is a usually you might think that this is not a true sannyasi. Yes or no? Usually the sannyasis are considered to be very slender. Yes, okay, they're not even muscular, they're very slender. So slender images of Buddha, they first came out in Amravati school. Then the second thing is, okay, what happens is in this Amravati school of sculpture, they started, okay, developing this form which is known as perspective. Perspective is the form which tries to show depth. Remember, so absence of perspective I talked about in Bharat. So they started developing perspective in their images. They were able to translate some element of depth. That is the second thing. And the third thing is Amravati school of sculpture is known for its images which are shown in the format of motion. Motion means they are shown in the format of movement. It means that if you have a look at the images, you get this feeling that these images are walking. Okay, they are moving images. It means that the body will be bent slightly in the forward direction. The feet are shown in, okay, an upraised format as if the person is about to walk. Are you getting this? So this movement is, they were able to depict the movement, they were able to depict the depth in images, and most of the images, they are shown wherein the people are in intense activity. Okay, intense activity, they are moving very fast. Okay, that kind of images are shown. Then along with that, in order to narrate a story, the Amravati school developed a unique technique. What they did is they started showing images in the format of flowing scenes. Flowing scenes means, okay, it will be shown this way. Let's suppose Buddha is, okay, I'll tell one story, one Jataka tale. Okay, there is a story about, okay, Buddha being an elephant tamer. At one point of time, okay, when he was going through the city, okay, which city I don't remember, when he was walking through the city, suddenly a elephant, it goes rogue. Okay, and it starts attacking the local population. And it comes in a marauding fashion. I mean, it comes to attack Buddha too. Okay, but when everyone is running back, okay, Buddha, he stands calmly. Just by placing his hand on the head of the elephant, he was able to calm down the elephant. Okay, so this is present in many movies also later. Okay, but originally the scene is of Buddha. Okay, he is shown as an elephant tamer. Okay, elephant tamer. And in this also, what they did is they showed first the elephant emerging from forest. Then in the next scene just beside it, okay, scenes are flowing in each other. Next scene, the same elephant is shown, okay, demolishing some carts. Next scene, it is shown, okay, actually crushing some people. And the next scene, it comes towards Buddha. And Buddha, after that, the next scene shows Buddha placing his arm over this elephant. And the next scene is shown where the elephant kneels before Lord Buddha. You're getting this? So this is a continuous flow scene, okay, which is usually depicted, it is shown in movies, usually, this kind of scene. In paintings, this is not possible. Okay, but what they did is by integrating all the images at one place, they started showing this flow of images, and it is a good technique of story narration. Are you understanding this? Okay, so this way they developed one more thing, and most of the images, they are shown in slender figures with very long legs, okay, and intense activities depicted. Perspective is there, and mainly the images are of Buddha and Bodhisattva. And here also, because they are influenced by the Gandhara school, the drapery is heavy. Okay, drapery is heavy here too, and they also used to make images of Buddha with white marble. Okay, marble based images are also there here. Okay, relief and 3D are there. White marble and stucco, that is limestone. Then along with that, Buddhist and Bodhisattva images, heavy drapery with prominent folds. This is the influence of Gandhara. You write it there itself. Gandhara influence. And the relief images have rapid movement and vitality. Rapid movement and vitality. And here, they started depicting the images in the format of naturalistic and graceful images. Naturalistic means which are very close to reality rather than idealized body forms. Gandhara school is idealized. Yes or no? Okay. It is idealized. Here it is naturalistic and graceful. Monocenic and continuous relief is there. Perspective and realism is shown in their images. I'll show the perspective. Okay, then they also have some medallions, and usually their images are shown with slender figures and long legs. Okay, long legs and slender figures. You see the image. Okay, here, can you see the people bending, tilting towards the forward direction? And can you sense that these people are in motion? Yes, no. Okay, so then along with that, this shows the image of, okay, Yakshas who got their hands on Buddha's begging bowl. Okay, because they got their hands on Buddha's begging bowl, okay, they are celebrating the day. Okay, this is the Buddha's begging bowl Yaksha image. And here, okay, can you see this? Okay, Buddha is shown along with some crowded figures. Here they were able to, okay, build some sense of perspective. Depth is being shown. Do you agree with me or not? Okay, depth is clearly visible here. Okay, front row. Okay, then Buddha is sitting here, front row, back row, and third row is also shown. Is it not perspective? See, in order to build perspective in paintings and in okay, sculpture, what they typically tend to do is they use a technique. Okay, one is known as foreshortening, and the second is known as, okay, this technique which is known as this lighting and shading. Okay, I'll tell you. So usually human eye, as you move far away from human eye, the size of the images that diminish. It means that the images which are very close by to you, they are usually a little larger. Slowly as they go behind, then their size also reduces. Here, this foreshortening techniques employs this technique in order to show depth in case of paintings and sculpture. This is one technique. Second technique is, as, okay, the human eye sees into the distance, naturally the images which are present at the back, they will be more dim when compared to the images which are in the forefront. In painting, they use this tradition called lighting and dimming, wherein the images which are present in the forefront, they are shown in a lot of light, whereas the images which are in the background, they are shown with dim light. Then only you can perceive that there is depth here. Foreshortening is size-wise increment and decrement. So this is what is known as foreshortening technique. And here they used this foreshortening technique, okay, in order to depict the images. And this is realism and perspective. Okay. So then along with that, in most of these images, Buddha is shown in various mudras. Okay, various mudras. These mudras are important. Are you clear about the Amaravati school? Okay, vitality is one aspect. Okay, realism, perspective, motion. Okay, all of these are various aspects of the Buddha's image. Okay. Now, the next section, it mainly talks about the mudras in Buddhism, and they are present across. Okay, across all the schools, these mudras were used. And in mudras, okay, one is Abhaya Mudra. Okay, simple ones I will discuss first. Abhaya Mudra is, okay, the mudra which is known as, okay, the mudra which says that a person need not be afraid as Buddha is there. Okay, don't fear. Okay, I am here. So that is what is known as Abhaya Mudra. Then the second mudra is known as, okay, the mudra which is known as Danda Mudra. Okay, so Danda Mudra is the mudra, or sorry, Varada Mudra, not Danda, Varada Mudra. This Varada Mudra is the one where Buddha is depicted with one hand in Abhaya Mudra, the second in Varada Mudra. Varada means what? What is the meaning of Varada? Gift. Okay, by giving gift. Okay, Lord Venkateshwara is also depicted in the same image. He has one arm this way. Okay, it means that, okay, whatever you pray for, God is going to give it to you. Yes, okay, this mudra is known as Varada Mudra. Okay, Varada Mudra. And the third mudra is known as Anjali Mudra. Anjali means, okay, respect. Yeah, and it is depicted in many places. Okay, not Buddha, but many of his followers are shown in Anjali Mudra towards Buddha. So this is the third mudra. Then the fourth mudra is, okay, this mudra which is known as, okay, this mudra is known as Bodhayengi Mudra. This is very important. Bodhayengi Mudra, which shows Buddha, okay, closing 5 fingers on the index finger of right hand. Okay, this mudra. So index finger is closed by the 5 fingers of left hand. This is known as Bodhayengi Mudra. It means that Buddha has the command over all the 5 sacred texts of ancient times. Okay, there are 5 sacred texts. All the 5 kinds of intelligence are integrated into Buddha. Okay, this is one image, and this image, it typically depicts, okay, a discourse pose. It means that he is integrating all the world knowledge and he is preaching. Are you getting this? So 5 fingers enclosing the index finger of right hand. This is known as the mudra which is called as Bodhayengi Mudra. Then along with Bodhayengi Mudra, the other mudras, okay, which Buddha depict, in which Buddha is depicted are, okay, one more mudra is this Bhumisparsha Mudra. This is a very prominent one. Okay, did I talk about this Bhumisparsha Mudra earlier? No. Okay, Bhumisparsha Mudra is the mudra in which Buddha is shown, okay, in a cross-legged position, and he is touching with one hand. Okay, which is it? Is it left or right? Left hand or right hand? Bhumisparsha Mudra? Right hand. Okay, he touches the ground with his right hand. And this signifies that, okay, Buddha has won over Maya, okay, or Mara it is called, okay, Mara or Maya, okay, Mara or Maya, okay. See, Mara or Maya is nothing but the evil in Buddhism. Evil in Buddhism is what? What is the source of all evil in Buddhism? Desire is the source of all evil. So, in order to better communicate this desire to the human beings, what they did is they converted the desire into a Rakshasa called Mara. Mara is the Rakshasa of desire. Whenever afflicted by him, naturally people will have more desires and they will be, okay, suffering. And Buddha, he won over desire. Finally, that is what Buddha's enlightenment is. So what he does is, when he attained nirvana, he touches the ground with his right hand and he calls the earth as a witness to prove that he has won over desire. Okay, see, come and witness my nirvana. I have won over desire. Okay, he calls the earth, which is known as Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. Okay, are you getting it? Because Buddha is alone in the people tree. Okay, under the people tree, there is no one around. So he calls upon the earth to witness his victory over Mara or desire. Okay, are you getting this? So this is known as the Bhumi Sparsha Mudra. And along with Bhumi Sparsha Mudra, the other mudras which are present in Buddhism is, okay, one mudra is very prominent, which is known as this Vitarka Mudra. Vitarka Mudra is this. Okay, Vitarka Mudra is this, and this is also a mudra which signifies that Buddha is preaching. Okay, Buddha is preaching, then that mudra is known as Vitarka Mudra. To form a circle, and it is a discourse pose. Discourse pose. Okay, Dhyana Mudra is right over left. Remember? Okay, right over left, Dhyana Mudra. Then Maravijaya or Bhumi Sparsha Mudra, right hand touching the ground. Okay, which proclaims Buddha's enlightenment or nirvana to earth. Which proclaims Buddha's victory over desire. Over desire. Then the next mudra is this Dharmachakra Parivartana Mudra. Okay, this way. Okay, left and right hand. Okay, they're touching each other. Okay, in a complicated pose. Okay, it's not required for us. Just remember that at chest level, if left hand and right hand are touching, then this is also a pose for teaching of Buddha. 3 discourse poses you see. One is, okay, this mudra, okay, where he is teaching to the public. Then the second mudra is this left hand index finger closing. Okay, then the third mudra is this Dharmachakra Parivartana Mudra. This is also a preaching pose. Okay, preaching pose. Chest level, hands touching each other. It is also a discourse pose. Discourse pose. Okay, Bodhangi Mudra, Karana Mudra. Okay, Karana Mudra is important. Karana Mudra is this. Okay, so index finger and the little finger, they are emerging. Okay, so this pose is known as Karana Mudra, and this is usually used in Tantric Buddhism. And here, Buddha is trying to ward off evil. Okay, ward off evil. Okay, whenever there is a disease, some affliction is there, people used to think that some evil force is working here. Okay, because science is undeveloped at that point of time. So, and what they used to do is they used to make a Buddha's image in the form of this warding of evil pose. Okay, and then they used to think that, okay, the evil will go away. Okay, so this is known as this mudra, which is called as Karana Mudra. Then along with that, when it comes to mudras, in Jainism, there is a famous mudra which is known as this Kayota Sarga Mudra. Okay, you know about this image at Shravana Belogola? Okay, that is that image of, whose image is it? Okay, it is an image of Bahubali. It is an image of Bahubali, and he is, okay, standing in a pose, okay, with a straight pose, okay, with his hands aside his body, which are not touching the body. And while he is standing in a stiff position, there are some creepers which are shown on his feet. It means that he is standing and meditating for so long that even the trees started growing on his feet. Okay, and he has attained this highest state in Jainism. And this standing pose in Jainism is known as this Kayota Sarga Mudra. You getting this? So Kayota Sarga Mudra, meditation, hanging hands which are not touching the body is known as Kayota Sarga Mudra. And you give the example of Gomateshwara. Okay, Gomateshwara. Shravana Belagola's Gomateshwara. Okay, it is a statue of Bahubali. Okay, Bahubali is not the movie Bahubali. This is a different person. He is one of the sons of Tirthankara. You remember this first Tirthankara in Jainism is whom? Rishabhanatha. Rishabhanatha's son is this Bahubali. Okay, there are 2 sons to him. One is Bhadrabahu and the second is Bahubali. Okay, there is a conflict between Bhadrabahu and Bahubali. Okay, and the Bahubali. Okay, so I'll just narrate the story of Bahubali. Okay, it might come of use somewhere. So what happens is Rishabhanatha is a major king, and he had 2 sons, Bhadrabahu and Bahubali. And for the sake of their father's crown, both of them were fighting against each other. And okay, they bring in their armies, and they were on the verge of fighting. At the time, okay, Bahubali, he realizes that, okay, just for the sake of a material thing, that is the crown, why should I fight and kill my brother and all my relatives? With this intention, he leaves the battlefield, okay, he renounces war and he leaves behind everything in his life and he becomes a sannyasi in Jainism. And after coming to Shravana Belogola, he attains this nirvana which is known as Kayota Sarga Mudra, by standing in Kayota Sarga Mudra. Is it not exact opposite of what Bhagavad Gita is? Yes or no? So in Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna also had a similar doubt, Krishna asked him to go fight and kill his brothers. Yes, okay, but here Jainism is preaching that, okay, rather than material life, spiritual life is better. Yes, okay, when Jainism and Buddhism started becoming very popular, I just wanted to share this idea also. Okay, Bhagavad Gita is deliberately formulated in Hinduism because, okay, many young men, okay, at a very young age, without taking up the responsibility of family, they are becoming sannyasis. Because of which, okay, the social structure of India itself started getting disturbed. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Okay, so at young age, what people do, they will not get involved in any economic activity, okay, or any social activity. They will become sannyasis. They will go into some forest and start meditating. Is it not a hit on the society? If all youth becomes spiritually oriented? Yes, that is the reason why, okay, what Lord Sri Krishna did is, he formulated a new form of ideology, wherein he said that rather than renouncing the world, okay, Buddhism and Jainism are saying what? You renounce the world, you leave behind the world and go to forest and meditate, then you will attain the spiritual bliss. What Bhagavad Gita, it started saying that, no, you should not renounce the world. What you should do is, you should get involved in intense activity. But whatever the results are, you renounce the results, then automatically you will attain, okay, the highest spiritual state which is known as moksha. Are you understanding the flow of events, how they happen? And when Bhagavad Gita was formulated, okay, here there is a new idea of spirituality. Here, spirituality doesn't mean that a person will run away from his life. It means that he will get involved in life with its complete intensity. And he follows this marga which is known as karma marga. And finally, whatever the result comes out of this, usually, okay, in Buddhism, desire causes suffering. Yes? Okay, but according to Krishna, what he said is, it is not the desire, but the longing for the results is something which causes suffering. Okay, so work doesn't cause suffering, but the clinging towards the outcome of the work is something which causes suffering. So what he says is, you work intensely and leave the results to me. Okay, that is what became Nishkama Karma. Yes, okay, Nishkama means you don't have any clinging towards the results. Without a clinging towards the results, you keep on working. Okay, that is the ideal of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so it is very, very different from what Buddhism and Jainism tried to preach. Okay, so because I'm talking about this Bahubali, so I'm linking it. Okay, so that is how, okay, Hinduism tried to create a new format or new ideology which is dependent on, okay, karma marga. And okay, immediately because of the ideology of Bhagavad Gita, it started becoming more popular, and Buddhism and Jainism are sidelined in India, and the central space is taken by, okay, Hinduism. You're getting it? Okay, this is because it is a life affirming philosophy. It is not life renouncing philosophy. Okay, whenever you're doing some work, you should never feel that, okay, rather than this, okay, taking sannyasa is a good thing. Are you getting? Okay, do the work like a sannyasi without any clinging for the result. Okay, that is what he tries to preach. Okay, so that is how the philosophy, it got finally settled. Okay, now the next one is Tribhanga. Tribhanga style, it is also a mudra. Okay, neck, chest, waist. It is not depicted to show Buddha. Okay, Buddha is not standing in Tribhanga pose. Usually Tribhanga pose is for women. Okay, women, grace, elegance and charm. And the last one is Varada Mudra. Okay, so I told about this Varada Mudra. Okay, Lord Venkateshwara's image. Okay, so Lord Venkateshwara is shown with one hand in Abhaya, one in Varada Mudra. Okay, Balaji. Okay, these are the various schools, and the last one is the Sarnath school. Okay, listen to me, what the Sarnath school tries to do. Okay, this school, it evolved during Guptan period, and it is considered to be the classical form of sculpture in India. Classical means the best expression of an art form, okay, which also forms, okay, an inspiration for future art forms is known as classical art form, and Sarnatha school is known as the classical art form of India. Okay, classical art form of India, because here the Buddha's images were made very close to Indian ideas of beauty, and along with that, they were able to, okay, depict very high levels of emotion, high levels of consciousness in the face of Buddha. Are you getting it? So the image, if you look at it, then you naturally will understand the central message of Buddhism. Okay, are you getting it? So that kind of a face is made. That kind of face is made. The face was able to show some higher levels of emotion and expressions. I'll show the image too, then I'll discuss it. Okay, so this is Sarnath school, and here whatever has been done in Amaravati, that is slender figures, long legs. Okay, there is the Indian idea of sannyasa. So most of Buddha's images are made in this slender figured format only. Slender figured format. Okay, and here Buddha is depicted, okay, with a halo which is ornamented. Here also the halo is ornamented, which is influence of Matras school. And the Buddha is wearing, okay, a drapery, or drapery means dress, which is, okay, not clinging onto the body, and it is not having any folds at any place. Okay, no folds. And if you look at the image, then you naturally will feel that this image is not wearing any dress. But the drapery is made in such a fashion that, okay, it is just clinging onto the body. Okay, that is the second thing. And the third thing is, okay, Buddha's images, they are shown with this. Okay, so this is one of Sarnatha image. Okay, one of Sarnatha image. You open the image and see the face of Buddha. Okay, it shows some kind of inner serenity for Buddha. He is in a peaceful place. Okay, he is in a peaceful place. So it is the central essence of Buddhism is what? There is a method to go beyond desire. And by going beyond desire, a person will get some inner serenity. That inner serenity is being depicted in this Buddha's image. Okay, in this Buddha's image, he's shown in a slender figured format. And here his image is shown in this Dharmachakra Parivartana image. Yes, okay, the drapery of the image is not even visible. It doesn't have any heavy folds to them. The body is also slender in format. And the ornamentation of the halo is also very good. Okay, with some divine angels and yakshas, they're floating around Buddha. Yes, okay, so this is known as the famous Sarnath Buddha, and it is considered to be the classical tradition of India. Classical tradition of India. Then this is one more image which is made in Sarnath school. Okay, this is the image of Varaha Murti which is present in Udayagiri caves, you remember? Okay, I think I talked about this image once. Okay, it shows the image of Lord Vishnu lifting up the earth. Okay, lifting earth, up the earth. Okay, you know this Varaha Murti, he saved mother goddess, or see, the earth goddess, okay, from a, what is it called? From a disaster. Okay, from a disaster, he was the one who saved, okay, the earth. Okay, disaster means there is a flood. Okay, from floods, it is saved by this Varaha Murti. It is an image of Lord Vishnu. Okay, and here, when compared to Lord Vishnu or Varaha Murti's image, see the image of earth. It is very small. It means that, okay, God is far bigger than earth. He is more strong than earth. Okay, then along with that, if you see the image of people who are praying, it is shown. Isn't it showing a sense of bhakti? Bhakti is being depicted here. Okay, bhakti is surrender to God. Okay, when the God is so strong, he can lift the earth also with his, okay, what is it called? Okay, Varaha has this horn. Yes, horn. Okay, horn. Is it horn because it is emerging from mouth? Maybe. Okay, I don't know exactly whether it is called a horn or not. Okay, so this kind of image is shown, and this is one more image which is very famous of Sarnath school. Then along with that, okay, there is an image of Buddha in a copper image format. Okay, Abhaya and Varada Mudra, both of them are shown to Buddha. Okay, long ears, and this image is present at a place. Where is it present? Copper image, copper or bronze. Sultanganj. It is known as Sultanganj Buddha. So these images, they depict very high levels of spirituality. And Buddha, he is shown with half-closed eyes. Okay, it is depicting that he has some inner serenity and peace. Okay, and this half-closed eyes, they are a symbol of meditation. There is a very slight smile in Buddha's face. Yes? Okay, so we are unable to see. Okay. Okay, so all of these things are there. Just see this. Okay. Sarnath school, spiritualism and sensuality are in right balance. Okay, spiritualism and sensuality are in right balance. So this is important. It is not giving excessive emphasis on spirituality, okay, and rejecting the sensual world. It is a blend of both sensuality and spiritualism. Okay, sensuality and spiritualism, and it shows some element of serenity, security, and certainty. Young man with delicate lips, half-closed eyes, and slight smile. Elongated, slender, and graceful body. And the Indian idea of how a spiritual guru should look like is depicted here. Okay, Indian idea of spirituality. And there is a beautifully ornamented halo. And Buddha is shown with some feeling of inner introspection and peace. And he has this clinged drapery with minimal folds to it. Okay, And okay, the image, it depicts this. Okay, some historians have written about it. Okay, it is not trying to say that the world is full of sorrow, but it is trying to say that there is a path beyond this sorrow, and I have achieved. Life is full of sorrow, but there is a way to go beyond it, and it is showing the element of serene inner joy. And the best examples are Sarnath Buddha, Varaha at Udaygiri, okay, Sultanganj Buddha, and there are also the images of Surya and Bodhisattva torso. Along with that, in Guptan images, you remember the terracotta Vishnu images? Okay, Dashavatara temple, you remember? Okay, their terracotta images are present. They are also made in the same Sarnatha school, Shesha and Vishnu, Naranarana images, and those of Ganga and Yamuna. Okay, and Gajendra Moksha is one more image. You remember Gajendra Moksha? Okay, Gajendra Moksha is what? Okay, he saved the elephant from crocodile. Okay, Lord Vishnu. Naranarana is the panel which shows, okay, this Pancharatra sacrifice, okay, where human being is converted into Narayana. Remember Pancharatra sacrifice? Okay, then along with that, one more image is of this Shesha and Vishnu, where Vishnu is showing in a residing position over this snake. Okay, so 700 Sarpa, snake. So these are, okay, the stories which are depicted. Okay, see this. Okay, this is the Sultanganj Buddha, Varahamurti, and Sarnath Buddha. There is a good possibility of a mains question on this. Okay, it is known as the classical tradition because it is the best specimen of Indian spirituality. Okay, in no other image, these kind of higher levels of expressions are shown. Okay, the artist here, he was able to depict this higher level emotion. That is very important. So this finishes the Sarnath school, and the next school is known as Pala School of Bengal region. Pala School of Bengal region. And from here on, okay, again, so classical tradition is Guptas. After that, okay, they started a tendency of decline from Guptan period. And Pala school is an emanation of this declining school which is present in Bengal region. And the Pala school also typically depicted the images of, okay, Buddha, Jainism and Hinduism. All three images are shown. And the main center of this Pala school of sculpture is this place which is known as Nalanda. Nalanda is the main center where these images are produced. And these images, they have more an element of sensuousness than spirituality. Rather than depicting spirituality, the images are shown in a fleshy and bulky manner, okay, which shows, okay, aspects of, okay, sensuousness. Sensuousness means, do you understand what sensuousness means? Okay, earthly pleasure is known as sensuousness. Spirituality is a divine pleasure. There are two different things. Okay, earthly pleasure is known as sensuousness, divine pleasure is known as spirituality. And here, sensuousness, it dominates spirituality in these images. And mainly, they depicted the images of Buddha, okay, Bodhisattvas, Maitreya, then Vishnu, okay, and Vishnu is depicted in a unique format which is known as Trivikrama format here. Trivikrama means Lord Vishnu. And along with that, Shiva is depicted in Nataraja poses in these images. And they also have a copper bronze tradition also. Okay, so these things are there. Just see this. Stone and metal, Buddhist and Hindu, Trivikrama Vishnu. Okay, I'll show you the image of Trivikrama Vishnu. Here, this is Trivikrama Vishnu. Okay, one leg is in the air. Okay, that is known as Trivikrama Vishnu. This is the image of, okay, Buddha while he is touching Bhumisparsha Mudra. Okay, here, see, Buddha is shown wearing some ornaments. Okay, ornamentation is earthly pleasure. Yes or no? Okay, buying gold and other ornaments is earthly pleasure. Okay, so earthly pleasure, and see the image of Buddha. Is there any element of spirituality here? Okay, shown with very sharp features. Okay, so as if the sculptor didn't know what he wanted to depict. Okay, so this kind of images are made here. Okay, and see the ornamentation of halo, it will become too much from here on. Okay, but the central message of Buddhism is missing in the face. Okay, so this is the problem, and this is the image of Lord Nataraja. Okay, and he's dancing on a bull. Okay, he's dancing on a bull. He has some 8 arms. So these Nataraja images, I'll discuss about it later. Okay, just remember that there is a Nataraja image here. Okay, let's see this. Buddha and Bodhisattvas are depicted here. Then Adi Buddha. Okay, Adi Buddha means the first Buddha is this person by the name of Vairochana. Okay, Vairochana is the first Buddha, and his images are also shown here. And okay, it tries to show some naturalistic depiction, but there are some problems to it. Okay, write this down. or you highlight the things that I have talked about. Okay, it is marked by sensuousness, which is earthly pleasure. Earthly pleasure. Okay, and the body form became over elongated. Faces became pointed and were instilled with an expression of enjoyment. Dress and jewelry became frivolous. And there is emphasis on elaborate decoration. Elaborate decoration is given there. Okay, elaborate decoration, sensuousness. Okay, you write one line down. Okay, spirituality is a divine pleasure, whereas sensuousness is earthly pleasure. Sensuousness is earthly pleasure, and from Pala period, sensuousness is earthly pleasure. From the period of Palas, sensuousness dominated over spirituality. Sensuousness dominated over spirituality. Okay, and ornamental over elaboration. Started replacing the simple images of Sarnath. Are you understanding the drift? Okay, see, I'm trying to tell the logic behind these things. Okay, see, from Pala period there is feudalism. Yes, and in feudalism usually, okay, there is higher emphasis on display rather than the real spiritual progress. Okay, so you remember the titles of these feudal lords, Maharaja the Raja, Raja Martanda. These kind of titles are taken by them. Yes, it means that they are trying to display their wealth in a filthy fashion. So that same character is there for the images too. Okay, and here rather than spirituality, sensuousness is given more importance over ornamentation and elaboration. That is also given importance. Okay, sometimes the ornamentation is so too much that it snatches away the beauty of an image. Yes or no? Okay, sometimes over ornamentation, it leads to some sense of dislike from people's mind. If you go to a marriage and someone comes with over ornamentation, then what will you feel? Okay, she is doing vulgar display of her wealth. Is it said or not? Okay, see, I'm not saying just about women, even men also can do that. Vulgar display. Okay, so rather than vulgar display, there is a beauty in simplicity, and that is what has been emphasized till Sarnath school. But from here on, vulgarity, it started dominating over spirituality. And the faces are also depicted in the form of some earthly pleasure and sensuousness rather than this inner peace and serenity. Always inner peace and serenity should be given higher importance over earthly pleasures. Okay, don't agree. Forget about divine pleasures. Earthly pleasures are so important. Okay, so this is the Pala school. And so from here on, stylized images, you write this line down to stylized and standardized images. Stylized and standardized images started replacing naturalistic images. And you cross that naturalism in top Palas. Okay, I think I have used that word very sparsely. I mean, very freely I have used the word. Naturalism is there in Palas, right? You cut it out. You write stylized and standardized images started replacing naturalistic depictions. Means that whatever is written down in books about how an ideal figure has to be made, they started following those traditions only. They did not think about whether it is really beautiful or not. Okay, it's just like cooking, by looking at online videos. Okay, so there you just try to replicate what they are trying to do. Yes, okay. So, but finally the outcome will not be so good. Okay, so that is the case. Are you getting this? Okay, so stylized images means if you follow any textual tradition in making of images, then it is known as stylized system. Okay, rather than looking at the reality of the image, you are trying to replicate something which is written down in the textbook. Okay, so without understanding, sometimes you replicate whatever you have read in the examination, right? So that also will not look very good. Yes, half-baked answers they are called. Okay. That same way, this here, the images are also half-baked. They are not good. They are not able to depict these higher levels of spirituality. Okay. One surprising thing, okay, recently when I was watching one of these videos, okay, there this person has told, okay, how much salt to put. Okay, so salt means they say that, okay, so you have to put enough salt into the dish. If I knew what is enough salt there, why will I watch the video? Okay, you should tell 1 2 spoon. Okay, but he's telling, okay, enough salt you have to put. Then how can I know that what is enough salt? Okay, then I thought, okay, so this cooking based on videos is, okay, never real cooking. Okay, so that's one. Now, next one is, okay, Cholan age. Okay, we'll finish Cholan age, and after that we'll wind up the class for today. Okay, just listen to me. Tomorrow you'll get a new handout on painting tradition. Okay, because sculpture is almost done. Because in medieval times there is no prominent sculpture. Yes. So Cholan age is the most prominent sculpture. And here, how many pages is left? 3 pages. Yes, 3 pages is left. So the last section is mainly about, okay, the prominent sculptures of India and stuff. Okay, there is not nothing much to discuss. Just the Cholan age is worthy of discussion, because Cholan age sculptures are known as, okay, the classical tradition in bronze sculpture making. Okay, bronze sculpture making. Okay, stone tradition mein the classical sculpture is Sarnath, whereas bronze images mein the classical sculpture is the Cholan age sculpture. It means that the best expressions of, okay, divinity are shown in this Cholan sculpture. And Cholan sculpture, they made with the same old technique which is known as lost wax technique or Sire Pedro technique. Indus Valley civilization Sire Pedro technique, the same technique is used by these people also. They made the images either in bronze, or sometimes they also made the images in Panchaloha. Panchaloha is 5 different metals combined together. Okay, so Panchaloha image also they started creating. And of all the images of the Cholas, the most prominent image is the image of this Shiva Nataraja. Okay, Nataraja image is the most prominent one, and it also is able to depict very, very deep philosophy of Hinduism in the form of a sculpture. Okay, very high philosophy of Hinduism. It was able to translate into the form of a sculpture. Shiva is shown in the same inner joy and serenity in which Buddha is depicted earlier. Okay, that is one thing. And the second thing is it wanted to depict the cycle of life in according to Hinduism. So the cycle of life in Hinduism, it has 5 stages. One is known as Srishti. Srishti means creation. Second is known as, okay, Palana. Okay, Palana means maintenance. Third is known as Tribhova. Tribhova means illusion. Fourth is known as Srishti, Palana, Tribhova. Anugraha is the 4th one. Okay, and the 5th one is destruction, which is known as Samhara. Okay, so 5 things. So creation, okay, then maintenance, illusion, liberation, and finally destruction. So these are the 5 important elements of a Hindu philosophy. It means that, okay, Lord Shiva is considered to be the destroyer of the universe. Okay, so these 5 stages are very important in Hindu cycle of life. It means that first creation is done, and after creation, maintenance is usually done by Lord Vishnu. Okay, creation is done by Brahma, maintenance is done by Lord Vishnu, and along with that, Tribhova means illusion. Most of the times people live in Maya. They don't know what is the real purpose and intent of life. Okay, you remember Maya? Shankaracharya also talked about this Maya, that the world is full of Maya. You will not be able to differentiate what is real from unreal. So that Maya is something which is the world is full of Maya. And okay, the next one is Anugraha. Anugraha means when a Bhakta, okay, if he surrenders himself to God, then he will be able to move out of this illusion which is known as Tribhava towards Anugraha. Anugraha is God's grace. And the last one is destruction. This is how the cycle of life is there. And this cycle of life is depicted in the image of Lord Shiva as Nataraja. Okay, Lord Shiva as Nataraja, he takes up the work of all 3 gods, Brahma, okay, Vishnu and Maheshwara. All 3 works he takes up, and he alone does in this divine cosmic dance all these works. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So this is what is known as Shiva Nataraja image. And Shiva Nataraja image, it shows Shiva in a dancing pose, which is known as Chatur pose. Chatur pose with one leg which is lifted up, okay, into the air. Okay, and apart from that, the Shiva's image, it has 4 arms to it. And these 4 arms, they carry 4 different kinds of poses. Okay, so one image, one arm is shown in this pose which is known as Abhaya Mudra. Okay, second one is this Danda Mudra. Okay, Danda Mudra is the second one, and the third one is this hand which carries this Jwala in his hand. Okay, fire he will carry in one hand, and in other hand, what does he carry in other hand? Fire in one hand. Then what? 4 hands, 4 things. Damaru. Okay, Damaru is carried in one more hand, and Damaru is the one which will help a person to come out of illusion. Okay, by making this sound, Shiva dispels this ignorance which is known as Tribhava. Okay, and fire, it is representation of destruction. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Fire is the representation of destruction. Then along with that, okay, he also holds one hand in Abhaya Mudra, okay, fearlessness. Then one more mudra is Danda Mudra. Danda Mudra is very similar to Varada Mudra of earlier. Okay, wherein okay, people can call for God's grace. Okay, God's grace is shown in this Danda Mudra. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Everyone? Okay, I'll show the image and explain these things also again. So then along with that, Lord Shiva is shown dancing on a small demon who is known as Apasmara. Okay, Apasmara pe ke upar, he dances on the head of this person called Apasmara. And Apasmara is a representation of human ignorance. Okay, Lord Shiva is trying to suppress human ignorance. That is one thing. Then along with that, Lord Shiva is shown with his hair locks radiating. Okay, while dancing, his hair locks, they will get, okay, or they will be in air. So, and these hair locks, they are shown with, okay, half crescent moon in them. Half crescent moon. Half crescent moon means what? Okay, the image of moon. Okay, moon who is a half crescent in shape. So that is shown. This shows that, okay, the life is transient. It means that sometimes life is full of blessings, sometimes it becomes amavasya. The transience, that is, transience means that nothing is permanent. Remember transience I talked about in Buddhism also. So the transience of world is shown in this half crescent moon. Then along with that, on one of the locks, goddess Ganga is sitting on one of the hair locks of Lord Shiva. Then along with that, okay, he also is wearing this tiger around him. Okay, yes, tiger skin dress. Okay, so this tiger skin, it represents that he is beyond the beastly nature of human beings. Okay, so each thing has a symbolism. Beastly nature of human beings, he went beyond it by killing the tiger of human animal. Okay, human beings are both an animal and, okay, spiritual being in mixture. So Lord Shiva, he is trying to, okay, destroy this animal nature of human beings. That is depicted with this, okay, tiger skin. Then along with that, he is also wearing a snake. Yes, okay, and snakes represent something. Okay, it's given there. Okay, I'll tell about it. So these are the important imageries of Cholan architecture. See this? They are solid metal images. What does snake signify? Egoism. Okay, egoism of human beings is signified by by the snake. Solid metal images. Panchaloha technique is Sire Petru technique, which is also known as lost wax technique. Lost wax technique. And after making the images in lost wax technique, the ornamentation of the image is given by chasing. Chasing means, you know, sandpaper. With the help of sandpaper, metal can be carved to a certain extent. So the ornamentation is done with the help of chasing. And every image, it goes through this ceremony which is known as eye-opening ceremony. Means that, okay, the images are usually made with closed eyes. And after that, once the eyes are opened, okay, by carving, okay, what will happen is the image will get converted into God. Okay, that is known as eye-opening ceremony. And these metal images are usually used for the sake of, okay, this, what is it called? Okay, processions. Okay, because the solid image of the God which is present inside the temple, it cannot be taken out during every procession. So just as a proxy to this solid God, they create this, okay, copper or bronze proxies. And they carry this copper or bronze proxies usually in procession. Okay, processions usually they do this. So this is the case, and this Cholan images, okay, they depict Alavar and Nayanar saints. Remember, okay, in NCR textbook also there is an image of Karaikal Ammayar which is given. Okay, so this lady who is having very thin and lean body. Okay, so that is one. Then Krishna, he is also shown dancing on Kaliya. Okay, the snake, Naga. Okay, Kaliya. Then Shiva, he is shown in Kalyana Sundara Mudra, Bhikshatana Mudra, and Nataraja Mudra. Okay, 3 things. Okay, Kalyana Sundara means, okay, it shows the marriage ceremony of Shiva with Parvati. Okay, Shiva with Parvati. Okay, it shows Shiva and Parvati in this pose which is known as Panigrahana. Okay, right arm of Shiva is being held by the left arm of Parvati. Okay, so Panigrahana, which signifies the marriage between Shiva and Parvati. This mudra, this symbol is known as Kalyana Sundara. Okay, Kalyana Sundara image. Bhikshatana. There is Shiva in begging pose. Okay, Nataraja pose. Then Karaikal Ammayar, she is a Nayanar saint. And they also depicted some Buddhist images like Maitreya image. Maitreya image. Okay, see. This is the image of Shiva Panigrahana. Okay, Kalyana Sundaramurti image is this. Okay, Parvati and Shiva, they are depicted. Okay, along with that, okay, Vishnu and Lakshmi also came as a witness here. Okay, to the marriage, and Panigrahana ceremony is being conducted. This is known as the Kalyana Sundara image. Okay, then this is the image of Sri Krishna dancing on Kaliya. Okay, Kaliya Sri Krishna. Then this is the image of Nataraja. See this? Okay, each hand it signifies one thing. Okay, here the back right arm, it has a Damaruk in it. Damaruk is, okay, to dispel ignorance of people. Then here there is this fire, okay, which symbolizes destruction. Then, okay, Abhaya Mudra is one, Danda Mudra is one more, or Varada Mudra. Okay, so these are the two things. Then Shiva is standing with one leg in air. Okay, one leg in air, and he is dancing over this Rakshasa called Apasmara. Okay, Apasmara. Then, okay, some images are not very clearly visible. Okay, the image of half crescent moon and this Ganga is not visible here. And the image of Shiva is surrounded by this mala, which is known as Jwala Mala. It is the burning ground, okay, or it is a symbolism of the graveyard, okay, in which Shiva dances usually. Okay, Shiva dances in graveyard. He is a resident of graveyard. Yes, so this signifies this burial ground. Okay, burial ground, destruction, Damaruk, Abhaya Mudra, okay, Varada Mudra, all of these things are present in this image. Okay, very, very prominent one. Front left is Danda or Gajahasta. Okay, Danda or Varada Mudra. Okay, right, the name of Varada. It is all those things mean the same thing. Danda, Gaja or Varada. Back left is flame. Front right is Abhaya. Back right is Damaruk, Jwalamala, which is a symbolism of burial ground. Write it down. Okay, burial ground. Right leg on Apasmara, that is ignorance. Okay, left leg is lifted with a bend. Locks of hair radiate towards the Jwalamala. Ganga is sitting on the locks. Crescent moon is represented, which talks about the transience of cosmos and human life. Transience means impermanence. Okay, when the moon itself is not permanent, how can you expect human life to be permanent? Are you understanding this? Okay, so moon also goes through this phases of disappearance and reappearance. That is what is represented by crescent moon. Okay, so that is impermanence. Okay, then tiger skin, which talks about the beastly nature of human beings. Snake talks about the egotism, symbolizing Srishti, that is creation. Palana is maintenance. Samhara means destruction. Tribhava means illusion. Anugraha means liberation. Okay, 5 stages of a Hindu cycle are depicted here. Okay, Srishti, Palana, Samhara, Tribhava, Anugraha. Okay, and he is sometimes shown in this Rudra Tandava, sometimes in Ananda Tandava. Rudra is the vigorous dance, okay, which shows Rudra Tandava is vigorous dance form. You write it down. Okay, vigorous dance form. Whereas Ananda Tandava, it is done in this format which is known as Lasya. Okay, Lasya means feminine dance form. Rudra means masculine dance form. Okay, Lasya, Ananda Tandava. Okay, Rudra Tandava and Ananda Tandava are the two things. Is this all right? Okay, is this clear till here? Then, okay, Vijayanagara School, we will discuss tomorrow. Is this all right? I think at 12:15 there is one more session which is going to be conducted. So when is your lunch break? 2:15? Okay. So all the best, okay? Hungry day, okay? So that's it, okay? So you please read these things thoroughly. Don't depend on any other book for this particular section. Okay, it's sufficient. Okay, because I told you that there is a continuous expansion, okay, of all the textbooks. Okay, they are becoming lethal. Okay, both intellectually and physically also they are becoming lethal. Okay, so don't read them. Okay, so you just follow the handouts, and tomorrow's class you bring the maps along with the textbook. Oh, don't forget. Okay, I gave one more day time. Okay, grace is given to you. Okay, please do that. Okay, thank you. Have a good day.